Hello, hello, and welcome back here at the Hoons Biweekly. Here in for some nice Blaze Blue. I'm Cloud, here joined by my man Euker and Hoon. How are we doing today?
It's a good one to be here for because it's also the 50th, right? Big 5-0. We've been at this for quite a minute, so it's good to see a big old milestone like that. And I think I saw some people also joining in on the milestone a little bit with some very generous donations, as we're resting already at a $128 prize pool and still plenty of codes left to be claimed. So for anybody that feels generous in their contributing powers, do not hesitate, right? Exclamation mark Matcherino. Let's get these sorted as soon as possible. And to add to that, right, we got a lot of returning names here, right? There's been on and off for some of these people wondering if where they are, will they ever come back? But we have the great return of Panda, Neek also chiming in on this one, Ignis as always tapping in, and then the likes of Drave and I Know Way, who we saw in the previous screen being one of the big challengers, right?
Yeah, obviously 50th bracket, we've been at it for a while and, occasions to celebrate, always nice to see long-lasting events.
Mm-hmm.
And also, as you mentioned, but today the bracket is not like massive,
Yeah.
We've seen bigger ones, but it is most definitely very stacked. You mentioned some names, and it wasn't even like the whole bunch. We got Segi as well, we got Homeborn, and the whole there is quite a lot to go over. So
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, right? Homeborn showing up. Man is pretty clean at Blaze, but don't get it twisted, right? Comms can hang, so just hasn't really had the opportunity to show up. So glad he's able to make it out in this swing. But we'll get all to that pleasantries, of course. So no doubt we will get to see one of the commentary's finest be playing on the stream as well. But first, we got ourselves Axel the Captive versus the Rinful one, and I might sort of fix this one up with Hoon, because Axel comes from our local scene. He's one of the young fresh
your
recruits.
people.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's one of my
okay.
people. So we've been trying to teach him the game as much as possible, and they don't call him Axel Third Strike for no reason. Oh, well, good way to kick this off. Might as well get these out of the way.
Yeah, Ringful crashing, but that's okay. Oh yeah, so for one, Homeburn been here might show that commentators do not have to be washed, which may raise the expectations on me and you, So gotta watch out for that.
It's okay. There's just I believe next outplayed somehow Kenfully will see that I get to face somehow 3 Rachels, because 3 Arkunes wasn't enough already.
I mean, look, we all got our demons,
It was truly something, right? I got to play against somebody that was just starting the game fresh. I was like, all right, cool, yeah, there's a lot for you to work on, but it's great that you're playing. And then followed that by Ignis, and then I believe it was some cracked French offliner that showed up for the occasion. But hopefully we get to go into things right here now. We see Axel on the Ragna playing John Blazeblue himself, and Rinful on the Kagura. A lot of heavy opinions regarding this character here for sure.
Indeed. Also, Axel, so you mentioned you trained him, so if he loses this one, we can put the blame on you, right?
The cope is we trained him, so there's some stuff in there that I didn't teach him.
Who's we? I wasn't in that.
There's the whole, my whole local community, but this is Axel Third Strike, right? This is my man's favorite game is Third Strike. He's only 17. Do not question the logics behind it.
I mean, young blood on the old games, you love to see that.
He definitely loves his Street Fighter as much as possible. I mean, you'll see as much of that probably in his play as well, where it's a little bit more focused around sort of footsies and playing around 5B a lot, which, you're picking the perfect character for that.
Yeah, even they're closing the round on a clean 5B with Punish, we like to see those.
Yeah, indeed.
However,
Hold
I
on.
don't know. Will Street Fighter prepare you for the anime offense here? That is to be seen.
Street Fighter 6 probably, yeah. I think that should be one more chance there.
Not
Pixel help to
quite.
work with, but yeah, that's
5C.
it's still not really okay if you go for CFAF there, but nevertheless, it's a rough situation you have to respect. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Little net play.
Speaking of footsies, you know.
I didn't teach him that one. I don't think.
Oh, that was almost a clean conversion. Not quite though. They're unblockables. Not ready for those.
Yeah, nice. If the 5A isn't working, just throw out the big ol'. Oh dear.
Oh, okay, he's a madman. I get it. My bad.
Yeah, definitely willing to RPS on slightly plus frame situations where it's like, are you ready to commit to your plus frames or not? We're gonna play for the DP, but keeping it safe. But there's a low. The RC gonna cash out as much damage as possible. Not gonna be end of the road just yet for Oxlo, but X Touch will do it.
And yeah, you know, to be fair, Ragnar, you know, he does have low HP, so gambling on stuff can be scary, but that DP with 50 meter is like some real good stuff. So I can see, oh my god, trying to go for, I assume, the cross-up divider mix, but that flash kick, let me tell you, he cares about no cross-ups.
I think maybe if Oxel hadn't commit to the cross-up divider, he would have been able to get over it, because that's sort of the main flaw of CFAF, is that it does struggle at times with hitting behind itself compared to like VFAF, so
I mean,
people end up slipping past it in instances.
I don't think he countered, so I think he just caught the air dash, which, well, you know, the air dashes do tend to have like a quite wide hitbox.
Yeah,
so
could also be.
that can be a thing.
Is he coming clutch? Yes. Going for the single hit of the Hell's Fang. Get yourself that standing reset, kind of a little Oki action, but the 5B not hitting the mark. Gonna go for the aggressive burst, wants to keep Rinful into the corner, but the CFAF RC for the side swap here. Gonna be a nice bit of damage as well as that knockdown here. Catches the roll forward, but no combo. Here comes the DP, no conclusion though. 5D, getting some straight hits, a little bit of life back. RC, it's a stagger pressure like TRM.
Forcing the burst here. Dash blocks into the Wyvern, but the RC low catching him. So Rinful taking round. I see that Axel is liking a lot of like delay meaty, which is a very Street Fighter thing, right? Whereas like you know, you do it just slightly delayed so that they're still holding the button if they just sit there and block, but you do it late enough that if they reversal right away, you block it instead, nothing comes out. But so far not paying off as much, mostly due to Rinful really liking like his neutral jumps on wake up into the dreaded Kagura JC here.
Yeah, he's been definitely struggling with anti-airing some of these neutral jump situations. Not respecting the 50 meter there on the wake up, right? Had the right idea baiting out that DP. Yeah, keep it simple. See it excel, get yourself that active flow, run straight into the boom there. Stagger pressure, the patience, waiting it out. Wyvern blocks the low this time, the RC not able to get the free hit. Again, stagger pressure, good IBs, the patience, the jump over. Almost, that wouldn't have been a hit. Looking for the reset, the counter set, not quite hitting the mark there.
The CA, and gets burst just in time, but the RC comes in, it's not a good spot and we're in danger. It's a tragedy, There is a rough spot to be in.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. So a lot of good signs of things being done there, especially on the pressure, really strong, right? Easily blowing up throw OSs. We even saw a purple throw TRM, right? So effectively realizing, oh, on the first hit already, I got the TRM. But you know, the struggles came down to I think the delay, the delay meaty, like you said before, right? With because the scene that I think, you know, the local scene that he plays a lot with, me included, we do like our delay tech. So it's mainly for that option as opposed to sort of looking out for any sort of reversal action. And if somebody decides to tech immediately, it's a really difficult thing to immediately switch your mindset around to be able to check for that. And that allowed Rinful to just get some jump outs, where we then saw the next struggle, which was anti-airing.
Yeah, like if you're letting like the opportunities for them to to let them out. Obviously, it's something you need to be ready for. But, you know, some flaws to be fixed, but I'm seeing the vision. I'm seeing vision for Axel. I like, you know, the way he plays. Which, you know, matters because you mentioned E17, like, one of the scariest things you can have in this world is, like, be, you know, a teenager with fundies. Like, what do you mean? You got both the reactions and the fundamentals? Like, that's just cheating at that point. Come on now.
The funny thing is he's kind of struggling with Bbeuobi overheads because he's talking about half the time like, man, I'm reacting to this like, I think they got in like 18 frame overheads is like common in third strikes. It's like, yeah, I'm reacting to 18 frame overheads, but I come into CF and they be doing 24 frames and now I'm just getting hit into full combo. This is miserable. But anyway.
Yeah, like I would say it's a general thing where like Street Fighter, like overheads, like regardless of their speed, the animation I feel like tends to be a lot more clear compared to like overheads in anime games where details tend to be a bit more blurry, you know, which obviously results in even though they may technically be like same speed or even slower, they can actually be harder to react to, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of what's not hard to react to is this web mashing on wake up. Tundra versus Anton, Axton, whatever have you here. Both of them from relatively newish. Axton been a bit more around than Tundra. Tundra also very frequently in the ZF scene, getting some games in there. Axton I managed to play a while back, and his penchant is to do anything that doesn't involve blocking.
I mean, sometimes it be like that, you know?
I mean, Kokono is definitely very... I mean, both of these characters are very fitting to just not blocking, because normally you can... Oh my god. Magnetron push away, not enough for the Thunderbolt lands? I see that. But yeah, both of these characters are very nice if you're able to just get out of a given situation and put the other in the blender.
If you win neutral and then just kill them, you don't need to block, you know?
Exactly. Oh, no anti-air there, so party time now for Axton. We're going to see the full Kokonoe combo straight into the corner. It's going to be... Oh, no tech, but you really have to confirm there after, but it's okay. 2A mash. The next round of damage coming out. Tundra sitting calm and collected on that burst, not favoring to utilize it just yet. And again, the instant overhead, and this time we got the confirm.
Yeah, which doubles as a fatal, drops the combo, but finds the 2A nevertheless. And... I mean, here we definitely see like quite the aggressive playstyle from both. Like, what do you mean Kokonoe 60 on round start? Like, what are we doing here?
It's a decent all call-out option, especially if you see people like to be safe or air approach you, right? It's just a...
oh my.
Yeah, nice little reset. I'm gonna burst from the top rope here because, of course, even if that combo may not kill, right? The situation that Kokonoe can put you in, with the Gon even just catching the reset, cross up, yeah, that's done. And it's exactly why Tundra bursted.
Yeah, right now just being put in the Kokonoe blender and Anthem finding the first match. So, you know, so far a lot of momentum swings, I feel like. You know, both of these characters obviously are very, very momentum heavy, where if you lose it, you might just, that might just be the round sometimes.
It may be, so...
Some aggressive use of air toes and gravitons from Anthem, which I kinda like, honestly. Just, obviously, Izanami bits, you know, not able to block, so you have to rely on movement. But if the gravitons are messing with that movement, that can actually create quite a lot of problems. Especially when the Kokonoe adds on top of that, you know, a fireball chasing you the whole time.
Yeah. Ooh. Also just teleporting away, but we're just going to Thunderbolt Lance in A-okay. If it's just been working out so far, right, why stop it? Fortunate little droppage on the combo. We're getting some stray resets in here, but you got to be careful, right, with no bits out. You can't block. Super gone, and yeah, we're being a little too hasty there on Oki situations. Having to cost our burst here. Oh, might have been a misinput.
Yeah, ripkit misinput, but...
Oh, okay.
It was not a combo, but sure, fair enough. Managing to find a round here.
Oh, okay. That's a different option, right? Like, you were flabbergasted at a round start 16. Going for round start 236A on the other hand, right? That's a hard call out for backdashes and and the likes here, but works out nevertheless here for Anthem.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised he didn't even punish the backdash.
I mean, it's Murukuma backdash. What do we expect?
Sometimes you just be like that. But here, Anthem really finding a lot of damage. Holds the mix and not ready for the RC on the overhead. Overhead, obviously, normally punishable, but here we got some layer 2 happening, which we always like. Should be coming in.
Hopefully, Tundra can try and even it out here, bring it to a tied game situation. Axton
Why the tight teleport? Just barely avoiding the full screen slide. I'm definitely seeing Anthem layer his offense and just Oki quite a lot better. Which leads to, you know, when he actually gets the hit, he can make it matter a lot more, I'm feeling.
Yeah, he's also really liking a lot of like resets in the middle of situations. So not the full corner-to-corner conversions, but you know, sometimes you just drop that the lightning staff on them, you do a little jump over and you see what happens. Good backdash, but you gotta be ready for the ball falling down at least. Not able to use the graviton to make the most of the situation, to jump out there. Another favorite situation from Kokonoi, right? To push you right into her throw attempt.
Yeah, like right now, Thunder just finding a whole lot of hits in neutral, but not quite getting the conversion on a whole lot of them, you know? You're getting the corner, but manages to just barely teleport out. And here the situation is reversed. The burst is not coming up for Tundra anytime soon. And the cross-ups connects. And that, yeah, barring a drop, that is a clean kill right there.
Cross-up explosion, very, very deadly, but that's just one of the things you learn quickly into BlazBlue is when you aren't right in your opponent's face, running the Oki, right, and you aren't really a character with exceptionally long normals, right? Like that's at least something of a drawback on Izanami, so to say, right? She doesn't have terribly long normals, still decent, right? She got effectively her own Jesus kick, but it does open up the opportunity for your opponent to interact a little heavily on their own end, right? So in the current iteration, right, CF that we are in now, thankfully. Kokonoi teleport isn't a frame 1 reversal, but it still has invuln frames into it. So if you're doing something, I'd say rather extreme, like run up throw, you do run yourself the risk of these kind of options being utilized, right? Like jumping away as well. You want to try and get up and close and personal with the safest option to check what they might do so that you could quickly adjust to whatever they did in response.
Yeah, it can be used as kind of like, you know, get off me tool. Obviously the thing is like it doesn't necessarily get the opponent off, but potentially, right? Like if you manage to get the teleport out, assuming there is no graviton on the screen, it has to go a bit fast forward, like a sort of a dash with Invo, and you know, depending on what you might try to catch the Kokonoi with, she might just you know, end up behind you and get a punish like this happened. And well, obviously, as you said, like it's not a reversal, but when it does work out, the momentum swing can be insane, which we most definitely saw here.
Indeed. Now we're just waiting a little bit here on our next set of players, which I believe should be Seigi and Mako. In the meantime, while we got that waiting, don't hesitate to claim some codes here. We still are resting at 35 codes left to be claimed, so make sure to head on over, !Matcherino. Hit the claim code button, sign in if you haven't done so already. Just a few clicks and you'll contribute 25 cents to the prize pool. I think the overlay is a little wrong on the stream because it says the wrong amount of money. I'm just going to refresh just to be sure, but we should be at nearly $129 instead of whatever is being displayed on the screen. So if we could reach what is displayed on the screen, that would definitely be swell, but still a nice amount being played for.
I believe we can manage. I believe I have faith in our fellow viewers here. So go claim the codes. Don't waste any time. We'll be back at you at the end of this bracket to see who manages to claim it all. You know?
Yeah, indeed. I think that's still something that's there's a gap in that market, right? Because a lot of people do claim codes with their Twitch, right? So if you're typing in Twitch chat, that means you already have an account to sign in with. No worries at all for that. But to sort of make an overlap, right? Can we in some way figure out like who has watched the stream? I think what you can track is like who chatted in the stream and whether or not they ended up claiming a code. And if we can develop some kind of penalty system, or we might just go like the low tier god route where it's like, hey, you want content, right? You haven't claimed a code yet. Here's a black screen for you.
Just like that.
Just like that.
I mean, hell, at that point we can go more stream. I can, I have some. I'm going to Naples in 3 days. I know some people there who can help us out with some convincing.
Every code is 5 minutes of content. No. See, that would be too nice to everyone else. You have to hit them with the FOMO, you see, because everyone else is having a grand time watching the bracket because they did the very simple task of claiming a match arena code while you're sitting there looking at black screen, wondering what everyone is talking about and getting hype over, right? I mean, of course, we can then get to the full charity circle where, okay, once we have equal viewers to codes claimed, we unblack screen, right? Because it doesn't make sense. Or like, well, actually, we don't really need to. But yeah, once it reaches 0 codes left to be claimed, then everyone gets to watch. Do you have technology for such power? No, but it would be nice.
Sounds like you've been thinking about it a lot. Are you sure you're not evil? I think you might be evil,
I've
sir.
been shilling Matcherino for quite a while, and it still baffles me the amount of times that codes go unclaimed with like 2x, triple the viewers to maximum codes.
You be like that sometimes.
An error has occurred. Steam, please. It's Tuesday, but it shouldn't be that early. Or yeah.
It shouldn't be that early, but here's the thing. The BlazBlue port never sleeps. I think we've confirmed that quite extensively at this point, I would say.
I think the part that is scary is the fact that they're adding a new character, and we just have to look at the stability of the game, or to have concerns for the stability of the game if we look over at Stride, right? That game is not stable.
No. Listen. Sure, this is time they're gonna add the new character. It's gonna be a balance patch. They're gonna fix the port and all the bugs, and everyone will be happy forever after. You know.
You lost them at balance patch because that means people who play top tiers will get their characters nerfed.
Look, I'm coping, okay? Let me be. So sometimes it's okay for people to cope. In the meantime, I'm seeing Segi on the Ragnar here, which I do know he has a Ragnar, like it's his sub for his Hakumen, but was not expecting for him to bring it out.
Maybe you're just taking the opportunity here in this bracket, right? Sometimes it's good to polish up your subs beyond just the matchups. You're like, oh, okay, immaculate reactions there.
Yeah, I'm not sure like quite how good this matchup is for Ragnar. Obviously, like we just saw it as the first match on stream. I can definitely see it being unstable due to just Ragnar HP combined with Kagura damage. But I can see this drop because personally I'm not too big of a fan of the Kagura Hakumen one. So that could go into it as well.
Might be the case, yeah. I feel like there's definitely a decent matchup for you to play out. The damage race might be a little scary, like you said, but still within 3-touch territory, I believe. Oh, okay. Roundstar Kadamos, very cool. Nice, little 6C at the end of the 2C. Blocking, no
fast
punish.
jump on the 2DA, that's important. Ziggy very well abusing the fact that obviously Kagura more vulnerable to safe jumps than most because his reversal being a DP, right, and he doesn't have like any non-charge reversal super, which means when you have him block the safe jump, his reversal options are effectively off. Getting the 6B that could have closed the round through the scrambles, manages to find the hit and get the first match. So far, this Ragnar sub kind of paying off, you know?
I can't believe the CFAT whiff like that. That's a very saddening one to see there for Mako, but sure, she's moving all right, I guess. But indeed, right, the highlight has so far been Segi's Ragnar doing exactly, I guess, what it should be doing here, which is challenging a lot of these spaces. And we are Roundstar going Gauntlet 80s, fishing Mako right from the sky, but unfortunately not able to end that combo in a slick as a fashion as that Roundstar option.
Yes, so far good showing, and obviously Mako knows Louch, so This would be quite the win for Sig to start off. Oh, tries to go for the grab, expecting the IB on the slide, but doesn't quite work out. Does manage to get the burst out, and that was a hell of a clean 5 AM here. This could... Can we get 100 meter? Yes, we can, definitely.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, there we go. Boom.
Yeah, like...
5.5k. If there's ever an argument why do you want to play Kagura, you just gotta show them the screenshots of the damage numbers this character does.
And like, especially against Ragna, you know, it's... To an extent, it's a threat to everyone. But against a character like Ragna especially, the Kagura 2-touch potential is very much there. It's no joke.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you see buttons like 6C being swung around. If that would have connected, could have been lights out there for Seigi. So considering that the burst is coming up, right, things could look around the other way here. Counter assault, but no counter hit, so immediately techs right back in. Neutral jump, getting away from that left-right option right between 60 and 60C. 60B, excuse me.
The whiff cancel on that kick paying off. Tries to take back his turn, but the overhead here, the gauntlet not working out, and Seigi on a pixel.
There is the low there. Gotta respect it though. It's a really fast option, right? It catches you off guard, especially if you're expecting the overhead to come, and maybe even if you're burying, right? It's going to give you a bit of trouble trying to fuzzy jump to. I suppose the attempt is to look at escape for the 2DB, but yeah, nevertheless, right? It's a rough one.
Yeah, you know, like the low, obviously, it's quite fast. Double hitting, that makes, in my book, for an excellent catch-all sort of option. Like they try to jump out, they try to reversal, you know, just through string a low, no strings attached, and get a nice check on it.
Very nice reactions, air throw combination, keeping Seigi trapped at the corner here. Shouldn't be the end just yet, but like we're in one-touch territory. We do have 50 meter with DP right through, and that is exactly the bait you're looking for there, right? 60A with that body invul, denying them the reversal, denying them the RC on block there, and that's going to be set point now for Mako.
Yeah, very clean stuff there. Like Kagura likes his air throw anti-air more than most, obviously, because his anti-air is really good, right? But it's obviously tied to charge. So when you don't have it, you might just have to scramble a bit more as you don't have any dedicated one otherwise. And just making a very good use of it there. And following it up as well. Now, gets the fireball out.
Ooh.
Tries again Seigi, this time ready. Okay.
Mining, especially like jump back JC. You already know that Mako, she's buffering that flash kick, getting ready for you to try and challenge.
Oh boy.
That's a 6C counter hit. Get ready to see some damage. And ooh, okay. I guess Seigi just knew the range that it was happening at because he had burst available, but opting to not use it there. Oh,
trying to work his way in. The 2C is out.
We're standard ground there.
Playing a lot of cat and mouse here. And the CFAF ready for the overhead. Rise again for the air throw, but this time not working out, and Seigi getting a full... Oh no. Oh.
Wait, is that kill? Oh, it is.
Oh, that's tragic.
That is so sad there. I like the vision from Seigi to opt to use the OD there just to try and push for that combo, right? But didn't he have meter as well to go it at that route? But yeah, I suppose...
I think the idea was that, like, Mako was very close to getting burst back, but not quite, you know? And they were both on low HP, so, you know, there the play would be to lock it out, which he did. He just kind of failed to, you know, finish the combo, and that had its consequences, you could say.
That is unfortunately the way it goes. Then, yeah. And it's sort of one of the rough spots of playing Ragnar in general, right? Like, you have... what a lot of people describe as effective, higher HP than most of the cast, right? So you sit there, I think, as one of the lowest. I don't think it goes lower than 10k, right?
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, so you're just sitting there as one of the lowest, you're like along the sides of Pixies like Tao Kaka, right? But the offset is the fact that you're able to heal up, right? So you do have an effective higher HP pool than most of the cast, but that means that goes under the assumption that you are playing in this back and forth. However, when you start making some critical mistakes, right, where people are able to accelerate themselves and get a nice chunky health lead over you, even though you do have the potential to like heal a lot of it back up, especially with overdrive available, the issue you still play at is the fact that you're on a life deficit, which does skew heavily the RPS you get to play at, right? Because there's not a lot of health for you to work with left. And we're dealing with characters with DPs and other crazier wake-up options on Oki, especially if you're not ending the Oki as we've seen in previous sets right in front of their face to be able to layer your options to call them out.
Yeah, like as you mentioned, the healing is a factor, but it's ultimately only a factor when you are actually hitting the opponent back.
Yes.
You know, especially in the case of Kagura as Ragna, you know, if you get hit by like a C button in neutral, then get hit like by some other like big starter again, well, it might just be it, you know. So sometimes it happens. It happened here.
Alrighty, well, we do get to have our Hawkman action at the very end, but it's against the Tager, which is a really funny matchup to consider about, because a lot of people do harp on sort of the Tager woes. But this one is one of those matchups that is kind of nice for Tager, because Hawkman really does kind of struggle a bit with the pressure that he runs.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't say it's a bad matchup for Hawkman, but once Tager gets the ball going, it gets bad. Like, you are... it's a matchup you need to play like very lame, like just you 4C to keep him out, you 3C as a low poke because Tager cannot actually punish that when spaced. You know, you have your JC to keep him out of the air, parry to call out a whole bunch of stuff, but ultimately you need to be clean because when you are not, this happens.
Yeah. Added with the fact that, like, you know, one of the premier Hawkman tools that they really like to use is that Yukikaze, which just flounders to the likes of the command grabs, right? So also one of your primary defense tools just not functioning in this matchup where you're playing against a character that just wants to fish for it as much as possible. I think also the fact, right, like you talk about playing lane, but even your own pressure, right? There's so many gaps where when you're not magnetized, right, you try to extend some things, you may accidentally just get SPD.
Yeah, no, it's to the point where, like, I would say you actively do not, you actually want to forfeit offense against Tager.
Yeah, just go back to neutraling, play for your big buttons, try to call out his armors with lows.
Which makes it even funnier because, like, it really gets to the point where, like, oh my god, magnetism shenanigans happening, but it gets to the point where when you got the corner, in this matchup, it's actually very legit to just end the combo with Purple Throw. Because, you know, they tech, so you get to make space and just have them block DC and return to neutral like that.
That's very fair, but interesting Yanagi there, almost looking really good, but unfortunately gets caught by the Atomic Collider. Full RC extension, right? 5k, just double 2B, and that's going to be Dennis with a clean 2 rounds, going to claim that first game.
Yeah, personally, I'm generally not much of a Yanagi fan, like just general, I feel like it's like a tool that's like there on top, but there are issues if it's something that you are relying on for neutral. And in this matchup especially so, because like Yanagi, sure it has cancel options, but it's ultimately like guard point, -7, very advancing. It's not the kind of thing you want to use against Tager. Because even assuming that like Tager is like respecting the cancels and not punishing, you're spending a lot of meter to potentially be safe. Meter that you could spend on trying to even out the damage race. Yeah, they're Yukikaze being baited out, but
that's exactly what I was worried for, right? The premier reversal option getting blown up, but there we go. I guess the stream is open. He said like, oh yeah, that's right, purple throws, get away from this situation. With magnetism applied, now the Saber, but dashes head first into it. A dirty fireworks burst to follow with it as well, leaving now Dylan at 0% burst gauge on Dennis's set point.
Burst was not it, I think. But yeah, another very important thing in this matchup is when you get magnetized, you just start backdashing. Start backdashing like there is no tomorrow, because Hakumen backdash, generally not that good because it lacks invul, but it's very fast speed-wise, which means like just spamming backdash actually outpaces the magnetism.
Yeah. I think this is the case for a lot of characters, right? You can definitely cheese out Taker by constantly backdashing. There's no quick way to get in, but hey, great equalizer, the magnetism immediately into the full RC extension of the corner, but very nicely done. Wake up Hotaru there just to get that invul. He's gonna try and go for the aggressive burst, but Dylan strikes back in that moment there, and goes for the reach jump straight into the loving arms of Dennis.
We're seeing a burst. Yes, we are.
Oh.
That is scary. Okay, punish. That could have been a kill. Okay.
Nice. I think that's something that you can definitely capitalize a lot more on is if you want to avoid getting magnetized, you can go into super, which just stops magnetism effects.
Yeah, that as well. And just, in general, yeah, like, Dylan making a lot of use of, like, advancing move, like here for air dash, Yanagi, Emma, but just, I'm of the opinion that anything that gets you closer to Taker, it's, like, at best to be used, like, sparingly in this matchup.
Yeah, that makes sense. You want to try and play around those C normals, especially if you can get in the right range where you're roughly around that 3C spot, right? Where you can call out some of these armored moves. Okay.
Manages. Yano does not quite find the conversion of the Yanagi.
Oh, we get the reset territory.
Lively, if you get hit and go into the blender, life leads do not matter.
Quick rise into nothing. Does it again. This time it's...
Oh no, we're not killing and forcing the burst here. Dylan!
Ooh.
Dylan is gonna have... Dylan will actually have me take a heart attack. I think that's his actual goal here. I have no other explanation.
I think it doesn't get stated enough, but we need to be really mindful of these extreme options we do as Oki, where the opponent has resources available, has reversals available, going for the likes of Wake Up Throw on a low health Taker with OD available. We need you out of the gene pool.
Darwin may have not been correct, I fear. Another thing I'm seeing is that Dylan is ultimately going for Oki a lot, which I would advise against, but if you are doing that, it's very, very important to point out that Taker is one of 2 characters who actually gets hit by Hakumen 5A crouching, which is huge because Hakumen 5A plus 3 on block 5-framer.
Yeah. But hey.
But here, it's not coming into play, I fear.
Cool interaction you have. It'd be a shame if you just died. One more interaction though here for Dylan. And
that was not a proper ender you could have jumped at, but here Dennis instead getting the reset and the round. Dylan not in too good of a spot. 1 round away from losing the set.
Ooh.
Okay. That is tight. Like that thing loses the armor just as it advances forward. So like hitting it, counter hitting it like that with a poke like 4C. That's scary. That's scary.
Yeah, whereas you have 3C, right? Which is also, I think, 8-frame startup. That thing's fast.
Yeah. 3C works. 8 frames, disjointed, we like those. We're not punishing the anti-air grab, which, I mean, like, the reward here is not skewed in your favor. So you need to capitalize on what you can get.
Indeed, and okay, trying to go for the throw here. We're still being a little bit too cheese with it at the moment. Interesting OD spot, gets hit in the air. Not going to be the craziest confirmed there for Dennis, but hey, we're running that OD clock, making sure that Dylan's locked out of it, but he does generate some Magatama for the troubles. However, stuck in the corner, see some cool loops, the magnetism apply was the reset looking like, doesn't quite catch with that 5B unfortunately.
Not going for the punish on the 6A. That's also important. That the Taker 6A, amazing button. It has armor. It pulls you in with magnetism, but it has a lot of recovery, like almost 40 frames of recovery, I think. So if for whatever reason the Taker does with it, you need to make him pay for that. But that will not be happening today, as Dennis manages to take the match and move forward in the bracket.
Hard lessons learned here today. Most definitely one of those that you really have to wrap your head around, because I think it's up there as one of the most awkward matchups you play in the game, which has you fundamentally approaching it in a completely different style than what you're trained to do against, I think, the rest of the cast, right? There's still some slight crossovers of Huckman Fundies, right? You still want to cut the projectile, you still want to poke at times, but you know, all lessons you learned about pressure and resetting, you kind of want to avoid. So
yeah, it's for sure a very different and also just a very tedious kind of matchup that if you're not used to, you may not be in for a good time. Let's say that much.
what you know, not in this case. But
Speaking though of matchups in which you may not be in for a good time, what are we thinking about this?
all I'm saying is, so long as Red Ask has 50 meter, he can DP out of the ribcage situation.
Okay. All I'm saying is, like, this matchup, you know, I've not played it myself, of course, but I know that my GOAT is there in the chat and had to become an S player because of it. And it's a tragedy. It's
Can't wait for our first 2B interaction to hit here. But Red Ask already off to a great start here. Keeping I know trapped into the corner. Didn't quite hit that ender there with the weak point set, but now we got two of them with that 2D for the check. Gonna go for the unblockable. Doesn't have the meter for the guard cancel or the overdrive. One last touch to finish things off with here. Can Red Ask find it? Patience, trying to barrier block, push away the opponent. Waiting it out. There's a low though. Could be disaster spelling out here for Red Ask, but doesn't have the barrier cage, so that can't be a ribcage setup.
Here, Aino cannot even block a Panzer. If,
We try to beat to low profile it.
Yeah, like, that was a kind of a weird spot because, you know, danger state and a pixel of HP. So, even though Radas did not have, you know, 50 meter to a C, you kind of have to treat it that way. Like, anyway, because blocking spells just death.
Yeah. Scary situation there earlier. I know trying to go for those Izanami fuzzies, and Red Ass IBing the falling JC, but interesting just remains stand blocking. Nevertheless, here, big old cash out from the overdrive, double weak point applied, but can't quite go. Good blocks, but go for the power assault here.
That one is fast. That's like frame 20, I think?
Something like that. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right, going for TK or cross-up Growler is the 16 frame rate?
40, actually, if you do it perfectly, which, to be fair, it's not super easy, so it can end up being like a bit slower, but, you know, still.
I believe it's still you can cross-up OS that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful. Speaking of being careful here, running out of barrier gauge, we're just gonna go into the danger stage, backing up a little bit, set up the fidget spinner, and yeah, very smart there from Red Ass, get them Growler fields going.
Oh my god!
What a fish!
And that's a kill. No, Twi. Is it Twi?
No,
oh, not quite. Okay, I was scared. Some real good showing from Radask here. Like, really able to just get the hit, push Aino to the corner, and keep her there so far.
It was,
but yeah, like
a real baller move. Just said, you know what? Once in a while, you gotta live a little and just capitalize on the diagonal angle that the DP hits.
See, you say that, but here's the thing: like, a wise Azrael player once said that Panzer is a better end tier than it is a reversal. And honestly, I can't say they're wrong.
No, that does track. Yeah, good blocks. Unfortunately, difficult situation to get the punish. Typically, right, Izanami players do like their Thunderbolt lands paired with the bits there just to give themselves a little neutral skip angle, but I know being bold in a different way there. 5B though, we're gonna go for the momentum burst, a little bit of patience.
Oh,
through the counter assault, what a beast!
You're kidding me! Nah, QCRC? That may have, he may have wanted a 3C there.
I don't know, but I see people clipping already. Get the next clip ready. We're starting to go for that unblockable here. Ooh, oh, he's gonna go for it.
Okay. He's going in. I'm liking this.
I think he could have. I think he could have set up for the unblockable, but that was cool too.
Oh my god. Okay. Now this guy is kind of popping off. Hold on.
It's something about Azrael players and sort of the darker palettes that you got to be worried about what you're about to experience. Because there's also that that South American Azrael player, Red Hydra. That is something else.
I mean,
that guy's
as a player, generally, like sometimes I just don't know what it is about them, but some things they just make them work, you know.
Yeah, look, just like that, right? A little bit of panic, you get yourself a 5-8. Unfortunately, hard time to get the
punishable. I'm afraid that super is only minus 17. You add in like the air block you saw there, and the 5C simply did not work.
Yeah.
Holy!
We're doing some incredible options here. We're meeting Red Ass on the rising portion there. Very smart, right? Because, of course, that was the aim for Red Ass with the ribcage. Just use that, get the hit, be able to RC away, and just do the flying gorilla move to leave the corner. But either way, meeting him in the trajectory there to deny that escape.
Okay, Overdrive manages to get her out. Now holding the ribcage. Can we survive this? Manages to get out, finds the counter hit, and now corner with danger state. This can be a guaranteed crash trigger. Are we seeing that? No, we're not.
We'll see 50-50s. There's the overhead though. Extensions. We got ourselves a low weak point to cook with here. But we don't quite get that 5D, or JD, excuse me.
That might have been Izanami her box. There won't be a kill on a pixel. The Panzer pixel for the chip. Okay.
That has to be the most radicalizing way to go out there, because you die to like there's of course the funny RPS that Azrael players like to do on Buster, right? Gustav Buster, where it's just slightly they're +1 and you IB it, now they're -2 and they go like, haha, here's my DP, very funny. But to die to chip damage? Chip
damage on a DP, on a like point blank DP, that's like the most Street Fighter 4 play I've ever seen. Axel would be proud.
Absolutely bonkers. But I think there's also a little bonus prize there, because Red Ask being below C10 and I Know Way, right, nice and high and up there, is the upset challenge, as well as I'm pretty sure that's also the Headhunter challenge, beating there, though Hoon will clarify on these details, but that should be so that's the Headhunter challenge as well. Yeah. So 2 in 1, the double whammy, a little extra bones going to the pocket of Red Ask there.
Yeah, and with such a clean win over I Know, we also got ourselves material to just get Ray to off of S and back to Azrael, you know?
Yeah, study the VOD, Ray.
I know you're hearing us, Ray. I know you're hearing us. I know you're there in the chat. Answer me. How do you answer this?
He was on some kind of copium that Izanamis can apparently 2B every single IAD, but, you know, just mock them that they don't do that.
Just be the better player. Like, if you're playing as an Izanami player, right, and you don't play Nami yourself, you're probably already a better person. So just be the better player as well.
Yes, he Stardust agrees. I think you're being too smart about this, Ray. Yeah, exactly. You play too calculated. You have too much respect, and you're on Azrael. This is like this character is for the unhinged. So maybe the S pick is like the overall healthiest for your nature of as a player, but you know, we'll see what it's like in the long term. Speaking of long term, we're not gonna have so much long term left in a few more games, so it's good as any time to remind everybody to claim some Matcherino codes. We updated the little graphics so it's accurate to our current Matcherino. We are at 28 codes remaining to be claimed, so make sure to hit that exclamation mark. Get your exclamation mark Matcherino in chat. Get yourself that link. Head on over to the site. Hit the claim code button. Sign in if you have done so already with well, Twitch foremost, And a few clicks just like that, and you contribute 25 cents to the prize pool. Goes a long way supporting these players who we are going to be seeing. Drave and Ignis coming up next, right? Two favorites, as always, to make it very deep into the bracket. And Ignis, of course, one of those up there to we frequently get to see in the grand finals. We'll see what Drave has in store for this one, because I can imagine this one is an incredibly struggling matchup. For
I believe they have played recently, actually. And some good showings from Drave, like Makoto has some buttons that can put in work in this matchup, namely her JB is an incredible button to hit people like above her in the air, right? Which obviously comes up a lot for Arcune. But in the end, I can still see how neutral may not favor you in this matchup as Makoto. So we'll need to see how he handles that.
Yep, that makes sense. And of course, right, the incredibly difficult 50-50 to block from her rush stance there. I think you gotta just fuzzy that. I'm not sure. I have to check out.
Yeah, like the overhead is faster than the low. So generally speaking, it's only real when the Makoto has like 50 meter to RC into Chubi, basically.
Well, yeah, to get the confirm. Otherwise, you're gonna get a standing reset. Ooh, jumping into the bell bug, unfortunately, there. So that is going to be the curse activation for Ignis. Exactly what he needs here. Trying to counter assault.
This is a really nice life lead you got there, Drave. Mind if I take it?
Well, oh my goodness. The slow walk up into the throw, going for the sweat route confirmed there, just as Drave was about to get that burst back online. But kind of interesting to see, right? Ignis able to block the counter assault, but not getting the punish out. It's very scary.
Yeah, a bit of a mess up there, but nevertheless, remember kids, there is no such thing as a life lead against Arcune. You're always one hit away from dying, and that is a hell of a burst bait, which can That's a curse, yup.
That's anti-air 2C, man.
Yeah, this is a really rough spot to be in. No burst to your name. Manages to roll out the Oki, not quite on point, but gets the cross up. Gets the super as well, but it's not gonna kill. And the red beat closing it out. Just that Ignis taking the first match. Blink and you'll miss it, man. I'm telling you. I really am. Blink and you'll miss it.
I mean, between both of them, right? They're playing for some they're really playing for momentum. Of course, it's intrinsically within the style of Arcune to do just that. But for Drave, it's most important because you really don't want to go back to neutral with this character. You really don't want to give him the opportunity to ever get to a point to be able to activate Curse, right? So if you can keep him jailed into the corner, where you're able to access some of these really fast high lows, especially with 50 meters to back it into a full combo. Oh my god.
Just like that. Just as you were saying it.
Ignis.
Can we get an F in the chat? Brave trying his best to get out, manages to sort of survive, but bursted into the corner, now back to neutral, manages to actually convert it. Okay, that was so far actually just barely working with the dash momentum. And Ignis finding the 2 CRC for another curse that's probably gonna be around unless a miracle happens.
Oh, just wait, block it out. Very smartly done by Ignis, right? Because of course, as Arcune, you do have to do some things on your end to actually make the bugs be a mix-up, right? Because the only thing that they really do that's scary is guard crush you. But like Ignis at the same time also understanding like this is disjointed Oki, right? Things are doing the work for me. I can sit there and bait out whatever desperate response they may attempt with the resources they have.
A wise man once said, don't work for the money, let the money work for you.
Oh, I beat the overhead too? Beast mode?
The bold run-up should be right there connecting. Brave now with the corner. We can go for the Oki. Another empty Chubi. Ignis expecting the command jump off of the stance, I think.
Okay, Brave cooking a little bit, looking alive. Nice. Perfect action there. So a chance to tie up the set here. making it a 1-1, especially now both players having the burst available. But Ignis at the same time also in that threatening range to be able to just close it out here, right? Set point, possibly 2-0 in here.
Yeah, still on board, but the cloud is on you, and yeah, burst last second, but not before the curse comes up. Now still has to hold it. Okay, funky barriers coming in.
Oh, good defense up to the very end, right? There's that brief tag on the instant overhead, and I believe Bbeuobi doing exactly what it needs to do, that flying upward position.
Brave
into the blender we go. We try to DP out to no avail. Resources galore here for Ignis as we're going to go into the OD Super, matching back with a perfect here to close it out 2-0.
Brave there, doing a lot to try to survive. But let me tell you, especially when it's Arakune we're talking about, doing a lot may just not be enough. And that's what happened here. Sometimes you just get it and die. It's the way it is with this character.
It is what it is. But, you know, to anybody that kind of looks at the Arakune match, because there's a lot of, well, propaganda is not really the right word, but, you know, awareness on the fact that once you do get touched by Arakune, the round is almost as good as over there. So a lot of the good default response to getting touched by Arakune is to go for just an immediate burst, right? Because that overdrive is not going to do you any favors when you're in bug mix. The burst is likely to get baited when you're in bug mix, so you might as well do it to deny the play. But
yeah, even oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. So the thing with Arakune though, with his pressure, is a lot of it is upfront information, right? Like once you know what that you know, setup A leads into this mix-up, setup B leads into that mix-up, you can kind of find the through line through the madness. But it takes a lot of awareness, and then at the end of the day, right, Arakune just has that instant overhead too, just to mess with you.
Yeah. Another even more important thing, like more specifically when you talk about the burst, there are guaranteed burst points in his combos where, like, even with RC, he cannot bait it out. He can't.
Oh, okay.
So that is like, namely, I think I'm thinking like when you're he's going for like the bug where you're far away from him, you can like burst, and you don't hit him with the burst, but you get out of the combo and you're safe. Those are like very important to know, because like you make it so there is no way he can just bait it out and have you lose the round for it. But while we're speaking, now we see Mako against Redask.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Sorry.
Wait. No, we don't. Not yet, at least.
Look, if you didn't want me to speak about that, I could have just kept talking about Arakune. It's okay.
Yeah.
you don't have to do me like that, man. Come on now.
Shoutouts to Zach Sheeny.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I mean, touching up on some people's hopes, right, that there would be a balance patch. In the bottom of my heart, if there somehow does happen a balance patch, because I'm generally anti-balance patch for CF, but if they do for some reason do one, yeah, because it's a 10-year-old game, bro. Like I know some shit is like annoying to deal with, but a lot of it can be solved, and you know, not all Carl players are Excal, right? So
I mean, to me, more so than like balancing of itself. Personally, I just think, you know, shakeup is always interesting.
At that point, release a new game, you know?
Well, I think that's probably what they're aiming for, like just like this new, you know, new character, potentially a patch is like supposed to be like an interest check for the game, and if passed, you know, a new game may just be in the works soon, you know.
Yeah, I feel like a balance patch could just nuke the game interest though if it's a bad patch, so it's too much of a risk, especially. Well, we'll go back to this in a moment, as we got ourselves Mako and Redask kicking things off here, so it looks like a little bit of match instability, but we are right into the swing of things. Immediately Redask is responding with a cross through 6A. I don't care, I'm just going to go for the 5A match, right? That 6A can be set up to be plus in situations, so it might have been that.
Yeah, here going for that, but still cornering himself.
Oh. That's always a fun one.
Yeah, that overhead is mighty scary. You're taking a whole lot. We're looking at almost 5k here. Mako really liking today that 5A into 5C, just fishing for the counter hit on the end here. And so far, it does seem a decent success rate. I will say that.
I mean, there's one thing that Mako's doing really well next to that, right, is the fact that she does keep Red Ask at bay, right, playing around the C normals. Because if he does try to forward dash, you know, those normals, they're a bit slow, so they can, yeah, just like that, right? You try to forward dash, the fact that they're slow means that they have a better chance of actually catching Azul coming out of that dash, and getting hit by one of those raw is definitely a bit of a pain in terms of the damage you're about to hold.
Yeah, Red Ask. Oh.
Ooh.
Again? Oh,
again,
boy.
I guess. That hit so hard, it nuked the lobby. Or it nuked the game.
The 2DA actually just blowing up Red Ask's router. You hate to see it, or maybe you love to see it. I guess it depends on how you feel.
And we'll see who's... Okay, I think somebody ended up disconnecting there? Pretty sure that's a forfeit in that regard, but nevertheless,
wait.
Yeah, Red Ask having a bit of a struggle there. Oh, they both disconnected. That's kind of funny.
Wait, what? Okay.
Both of them DC'd. Well, that's double down, I guess. So we just
that's a draw in my book, you know.
Indeed, you just keep it going. So very fortunate there for Red Ask after going down around there that both of them happened to DC out of the lobby. So I think things will resume as they were before. But yeah, to touch back onto the balance patch real quick, just to get my 2 cents out there. At the most, I would like to see them touch up the top tiers, right? Just get rid of some of the rule-breaking things they do, and that's it, right? Because I shudder to think a world where Makoto, Taokaka, Noel, or Terumi is any more stable than they already are, because they have, you know, in their own win conditions, they're already very annoying to deal with. And now you give them a bit of stability, and it's just like, ooh, they're going to shoot up a lot in one go, I believe, in terms of character strength.
I am dreaming of a world where Hakumen 2C is buffed. But
no.
Nah, yeah, oh my god. More DCs, there might be some issues at hand here.
Oh, or is it just I think this one is just you, so.
Oh boy.
And we got you fixed up here as these two are playing. Okay,
tech on the purple.
I do like that Mako immediately tried to go for it, because Red Ask was displaying those IB on the stance moves from Kagura, which if you accidentally IB out of habit too much, right, you can set yourself up to get command grabbed really easily.
That's like say putting in some work for Red Ask right there, like a whole time being catching Mako trying to get out of the corner.
Yeah. If you're not ready to high barrier block on the jump back, right, this situation can occur. JB working beautifully here, right, the backwards hitbox able to punish that 60A. We're going to the full chase combo, but unfortunately make a slight error, but it's okay. The hard call out there with the backdash, able to just avoid the CFAF. So a little bit of a struggle, but Red Ask does secure that first round.
Yeah, that backdash putting in some mad work when it comes to baiting the PRC for Azul. And, you know, the more sets go on, the more I see Mako abusing the hell of that 5A end here, way more than usual, I feel.
Yeah, so Azul does struggle a little bit in these sort of like mid-range spots. Doesn't really have a great button, can't really adjust himself instantly to get into those spots to play for it. And you can see that's the control that Mako is exerting, right? Fireballs just to shut off the ground approach, 2C to match onto that, and if you see the jump forward, right, 5A, a low commit anti-air option. But nevertheless, Red Ask does manage to force his way into this corner. Wow.
Oh boy,
that's not normal.
That comes out. That's a big one, and Mako getting the early overdrive to close out the burst and get around. Real nice routing over there. But yeah, like I feel it's definitely a matchup where Azul can struggle when it comes to just not only Kagura buttons, because obviously Kagura just has like the stronger things to control the ground, But
Yeah.
if Mako so wishes, she can also opt to, go in with, jumping JC, because that JC is quite the issue for Azul. Like generally, Azul really likes his like anti 5A and 5B, but against a button the likes of Kagura JC, those just tend to not work out a lot of times. You have to rely more on things like 2C or 6B, which can have their own issues,
Could have been the end of the game right there. First coming in just very clutch. You can see the patience here on Red Ask, right? Utilizing that life lead just to get Mako to approach him instead. Paying off beautifully here. With that first game win, after a bit of network struggles, we do manage to get ourselves the set underway here fully, it seems. But yeah, the other thing is also that Red Ask has been really on point with some of these routings as well, right? We mentioned a few before, but delay dash canceling off of the Valiant, right? Just to be able to get yourself that that optimal double weak point setup in the corner.
Yeah, like, oh my, that was okay. The 5C not punishing and block on the overhead. Yeah, Red Ask, as a routing, when you're really looking to optimize, it's really not easy. Like, there is a lot in there, and so it's always nice to see someone that has it on point. Here we're just seeing people swing right now. And
Mako, that 5D.
Yeah, and Mako also not waiting for her burst, which is important because against Azul, like even better than like bursting him out, a lot of times you wanna wait for him to pop the Valiant weak point, right? Because once Azul pops the Valiant weak point, one, it's no longer applied on you. So if you burst now, you won't have it still on you potentially and have it potentially deactivated later.
Right.
But also, once it goes into Valiant state, it can really only bait by RC. So if it doesn't have that 50 meter, it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
So both of those matters a lot when, in burst decision making, I would say.
Yeah, speaking of burst decision making here, we saw the earlier hero burst from Red Ask in the last round, and that's immediately biting him back now. As I don't know, okay, he will still get the burst available here for that last pixel of health to work with here, but it's effectively the full circle where utilizing that burst so late in the last round, you can see now again that the burst only came up so late in this round, and that really cost him, right? Ezreal does have a lot of health to churn through, but this is Kagura you're playing against, and Kagura does do a lot of damage, so 1-1 for these players.
You can be Ragnar, you can be Azul, you can even be Susanoo. Those Kagura buttons into like 4k plus damage, they still kind of hurt,
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, little footsies there. The 5C coming out on top, but on that mix-up, looking for that C-Faf there. Just get me out of the situation. Swinging that 5C, getting the counter hit. Only 3 moves used. 3.4k damage. This character is normally.
The Wyvern coming in. Not quite a powerful throw. I think Mako was trying to catch like an IB on the slide, but not finding it. And here trying to keep the pressure up as the overhead will be working out. Mako now on set point.
2DA has been doing a lot of good work here for her as Red Ask has really struggled to deal with that option, which is, oh my god, 5A count hit confirmed. But yeah, 2DA is just one of those moves you do have to block out, because if you get opened up by it, that's just a lot of damage on the table there for the Kagura player.
Yeah, no, it's, it generally leaves like a distinctly big gap in offense. Like the move itself is like frame 20, but the stance to go into it also had some startup, so that does leave for some like extra time to do things like fuzzy jump, which you very much want to use because getting hit by that is not nice. Like you're looking at like 4.5k at minimum.
Oh, absolutely. There we go. A lot of tools utilized aggressively to try and keep Mako to the corner. Sadly, not going to come to fruition. However, the combo routing there from Mako was hoping for that wall bounce there for the extension. See the fuzzy block, able to get over the 6C there, but not to punish. That move does have a healthy bit of recovery to it. The jump away, baits the DP, baits the burst, but no punish. The Buster coming out way too late there, but it's okay. We got the overhead in the end there. So both players are still in it. Both players competing now for the win of the set. Both players without burst, but it is going to be Red Ask with the 30% lead over Mako.
Yeah, that was almost a tragedy. Like 5C in generally it's gonna combo into Gustav on normal hit, but not always in cases where you are like a bit too spaced too far away. And we saw that there, and it almost ended in disaster. Like especially when you're doing things like kinda just sending the RC to 3C, which is unsafe. It can be tough if that doesn't work out.
A lot of routing there from Red Ass, by the way. He's going for the double weak point setup as the low happened to expire just on time, so able to get them both on deck, but with that last 5D, Red Ask is able to clutch things out. This really could have gone either way, especially if Mako was able to just assert greater control over the situation, because that was really the defining factor to what allowed her to win her rounds, right? Was just how in control is she over the given situation and at keeping Red Ask at a, well, sword's length in this case.
Yeah, like generally a matchup where Kagura has the ability to, but really also just wants to be in control, because no one likes to like just scrap in close range with Azrael, you know?
Yeah.
So when you find yourself in those situations, it's generally not ideal. You just want to try to sort of keeping at bay, at least most of the time, right? Or maybe run your own offense. But Red Ask once again managing to get through, and we'll be moving on to winner quarters, I think.
Yeah, a very exceptional deep run being made here. But up next, we got ourselves a real killer of a matchup here, right? It's going to be Neek versus Ignis, which both of these I would have, are easy grand finals contenders, right? And that being said, there are a few of them in this bracket here today. Panda being in the loser side, though, so that's an interesting upset. Being performed by Mako, no less, right? Panda, also one of those people we expect to see make it into the grand finals, but there can only be two, so we'll see how that develops as we go on. But what there doesn't only need to be two of is the amount of match arena codes we've claimed. Well, it's not an exact great segue here numbers wise, but we are at 27 codes remaining. So make sure to get in there, hit that claim code button if you haven't done so already. Sign in if you also haven't done so already. And once you've completed that process, you've contributed 25 cents to the prize pool, right? It's a few clicks, very quickly to be done there, and you'll go a long way to support these players who are coming in here every other week to put on some of that high-level BlazBlue action, all for free, right? There's a lot of free stuff going on here. Free money, free entertainment, so it doesn't hurt you to engage a little bit and do, a few finger clicks. I bet you can spare the energy on that.
A tiny bit of chiming in, it doesn't cost anyone,
Exactly.
But yeah, as you mentioned, both of these players pretty likely contenders for both making it to grand finals. But for now, only one of them will be making it to winners. For the other contender is gonna be that they would go up against is gonna be Red Ask, who just won.
Yeah.
And we will see the other trying to make a run from losers afterward. But
I wonder who Red Ass is looking at this and says, like, who do I really want to win out of this? Because I don't imagine he's really excited at either character making it all the way in. Hey, I did not know these two would have a unique intro. That is an interesting choice.
Okay, aggressive start from Nick. Immediately finding confirm and an early burst from Ignis there. The JB just barely connects, but not quite finding the conversion, and Nick very well aware to use the movement to his advantage, because Arakune's Curse Cloud is incredibly scary. but it does go away on block. So once it's out, you just want to have like a plan ready. Okay, like how do I have? I need to get something connected. Even if it blocks it, that's okay. Just get the curse cloud out, and then we can work it out after that. And Nick so far is doing just that as well, as he's pushing some real hard momentum here in the corner.
He has no fear as well. We just saw so many times that he just already on the round start, right? Runs right up. But there are just so many given situations where he is absolutely prepared to just let that run rip, right? Just like that. Quick neutral tech situation, bit of a panic spot, but just run straight at Ignis there. Go for the burst though. A little bit afraid of see what he might be able to pull off in the corner, but an attempt to bait out the ends here. Ignis still very patient, he's not doing a whole lot, and finally gets that curse online. So we'll see how Neek survives. Good blocks, but there's the overhead, but it's not able to get the full confirm of it. A little bit of a struggle there. Purple throw, good tech there by Neek.
Nick trying to bait the anti-air 5C, but Ignis is not biting right now. And 5 seconds left on the clock. Bursts out. Can he evade? With 1 second on the clock, Nick finding the hit he needed. Holy. There were so many tense points in that round. And immediate round start, like very aggressive here for Nick. He does not want to let Ignis any breathing room.
Oh yeah, we've already saw in the previous round how well the momentum goes here for Nick, and already off yet again to a fantastic start here. Getting really close to that final touch here. The stagger pressure, the patience, the IB is looking pretty on point still for Ignis. Trying to find that opportunity, and there it is, right? That 5C, a very slow anti-air, but with a healthy dose of ingoing.
Yeah, not quite finding the hit. Nick, they're not converting into a combo. Closes out overdrive, and that is one dead Raccoon. Yeah, no chance to burst. Ignis just taking the first match here.
That was a very tragic option there for Ignis, going for the, I believe that was the 5D there, right, where you just sling the bug, and catching Neek, and he just rolls forward, and unfortunately he had committed to the J3D in that instance, so primed to get punished by that 2B there. So
yeah,
Neek off to a great start, first game, and yeah, we were talking about earlier, right, the caliber of these players, being expected to see them in grand finals and such, but this isn't grand finals, and it means that they have to play it out first to 2.
That as well, yes. Also, like that first match felt so convincing from Nick's side, and at the same time so tense. I do not know how to explain it. Like, these people just kind of have my heart race at times, especially when you get like those scrambles sometimes. Okay, we're playing Street Fighter 6 now? Throw looping?
Didn't get the first hit on the combos. I was like, you know, we'll try again. Crush trigger, looking to close this out ASAP with a perfect, no less, and just like that, Neek right on that set point. But I can see what you mean, right, where it even looks stressful to see Neek play despite being in winning positions, because not only is it, you know, threading the needle when playing this character against the likes of Arakune with how sharp you have to be with the movement. But, you know, just the main struggle for a character like Tao Kaka being that she has these conversion problems. You have to be so on point with all the different factors that can contribute to what is the routing you have to adopt here to actually get the full combo.
Yeah, another thing that is quite important, like in this matchup, and generally against like more aerial mobile characters, that Tao gets good air-to-air conversions when she has an air action left. If you find like leave Tao Kaka out of air actions because she needs to use it like to catch you in the first place, it actually becomes quite trouble for her to get anything meaningful out of those hits.
Yeah, indeed. You do have to be very mindful of the air options you utilize, but any Tao Kaka will always leave one in the back pocket there to get their full conversion. Speaking of which, back to the corner goes Ignis here. No resources, the late air dash overhead. Going to be a JA starter though, so not the craziest amount of damage as we can see here, but it is all about keeping the momentum, keeping the opponent trapped in this corner, especially with the stagger pressure of this character, the crush trigger here. So Again, not the crazy amount of damage, but we are slowly but surely whittling away at the health pool. Catches the roll, but doesn't add that conversion. And that's sort of the thing I was talking about here with Tao Kaka, which should have been a pretty easy conversion for a lot of characters who catch rolls. Tao Kaka is just that extra layer of all different variables you have to keep track of.
Yeah, the running for this character is definitely not easy. Nick generally has it like on lock, but you know, sometimes it's just hard to keep it tight. And well, we're seeing it here. Ignis finding the mesh out, the side drop, the curse, literally everything you can think of. And the Nick left not in a so good spot here.
That's going to be the command overhead that catches Nick in this case. No curse left though to be utilized, but going to be the air dash cancel into the low, the burst, and once again Nick in this position where you're going to have to whittle away at your opponent here to try and make this comeback happen. And
oh my god,
what is that?
You're kidding me actually. Nah, you're not for real.
Why did you get the overhead there? What is your problem?
Just overhead from fast, half screen away, and it fatal counters too? What do you mean? Okay. Okay, yeah, it's not okay. It's not okay.
I'm surprised that Nick decided to concede the turn there a little bit, because I understand it's very scary in the situation with Arcune activating that overdrive, right? Because it immediately applies curse state with the amount of curse that he has built up so far. But I think if Nick could have just tried to true string him as much as possible, right? So really killing the amount of time he has available to summon the insects, it could have worked out really well for him. But here we are in the third game between these two, final game. So the only time we might get to see them again is if one of them makes it all the way back into that grand finals.
Indeed. And here Ignis finding the EA, which side drops as well, so that is a hell of a momentum swing. Somehow, that's like, you know, that's the two cars driving by, like they were going like 200 miles an hour, just racing past each other. I don't know how they didn't just crash into one another, but somehow they didn't. So no questions, I guess.
It's one of those quintessential interactions where the player that won the interaction was like, this game is so cool, and the player that lost on that interaction says, this game sucks so bad.
I mean, we don't, not everyone can always win, you know?
Exactly. It's a fighting game at the end of the day. Somebody's got to lose.
Just run up 2A on round start, the catching Ignis. Again, early burst, but Nick connecting again. Manages to get the corner. Can we keep the pressure up?
So far, so good. Oh, yeah, just retreating to a position where Ignis may end up. In this case, hard calling out that forward dash attempt. So right back to the corner, nice a little bit of damage for the road. Trying to go for the throw setup. Quite work out, but it's okay. We're back into the stagger pressure angle. No anti-airing attempts just yet. Trying to look for IBBs here. Any means to stop Nick from advancing the pressure, and just a little bit of barrier gauge left, but ultimately the crush trigger is just going to catch Ignis not holding down the barrier here.
Yeah, Ignis doesn't have a whole lot of drop left to shoot through. And that is a Nick classic, if I've seen one. Not insta-kill, it's not active flow. Okay, it's enough, it's just barely enough. Yeah, no, that is a Nick classic. Like, you know, he'll be running like pretty standard pressure on you in the corner, like, you know, your regular Blaze Blue staggers. Maybe he'll try to like put like some a command jump in there to reset pressure. Maybe he'll even go for like a fuzzy setup, but you know, none of those are unseen, and then he pulls out just those instant cross-ups that are like some of the grimiest thing you've seen. Is like, what do you mean that hit like the other side? How does that even work?
Absolutely demonic technology indeed here, but moving ourselves along pretty nicely here in the bracket as we have solidified our top 8, or sorry, well, yeah, our top 8 has been already underway. We're at our top 6 remaining players, where Panda hasn't been able to continue the run, so our seed 1, our favorite to win, out early in top 8. So instead we're going to be getting later down the line, Ignis versus Inoue, who took it over Panda, and what we see right now, which is going to be Drave versus Mako. So I'm curious to see how Drave plays around these ranges that Mako was really keeping Red Ask at bay, because one of the big differences for this kind of matchup, right? Because Makoto also not the craziest mid-range button, but hey, she can run fast. Very fast.
Real fast, yes. Yeah, like, obviously Red Ask did manage, and neither of these characters have, like, quite the buttons necessary to challenge the Kaguras, but Azul does have some other things, like, his 5C is obviously very strong, and he has Gustav. Makoto has more standard mobility going on for her instead. So we'll see how Drave has that work out.
So far it's a little rough though, right? Already on the life deficit here for Drave, so has to mind the options, the 5A. Able to just tag out from that overhead attempt there, and just the 3DA not being blocked out, unfortunately. So good opening here for Mako.
Yeah, another thing is that Makoto's, usual, thing where it kinda has like the clones going on, where it's like it can be command dash, but it can also be a command jump. It's sort of ambiguous on like what option it's gonna be. Something like Kagura's flash kick deals with it very well, which means like Makoto's offense is just not quite as scary in a matchup like this. So I want to see how Drave takes care of that.
Sometimes hard calling out does work, but unfortunately in this case, Mako had the RC, or had the meter ready. The RC, look at that, what a call out, right? Meeting you air to air with the air throw here. And she's now once again piling up the damage. It's not gonna be enough to kill just yet, but this is Drave at death's door here. One more solid touch is gonna close things out, and we go into the empty jump command grab with the sweat confirmed straight into the super here. As Mako gets that first game on the board.
Can I just say that command grabs are cheap? Can I say that? Am I allowed?
No, because you are biased as a Hawkmoon player.
Of course I'm biased. What do you think? That's the entire point. They gotta keep up the agenda.
Tisk.
The wheel of fate is turning.
We see through your lies.
In the meantime, very aggressive rounds of from Mako, keeping the pressure up. Just pressing. I'm noticing today, like, I think I'm not hallucinating, but I'm pretty sure Mako was not pressing like 5A the other times like she is today. Like, she is mashing on it. Which, I mean, to be fair, right, it's a very good button. So I can understand.
Yeah, I think once you have the confidence to utilize that button as well as what you get off of it, you start having a lot more appreciation for it instead of the likes of, well, if I want to anti, I need to charge up my my BFAF. But
yeah, pretty much.
Drave, we got here committing to the particular level 2 crush trigger, no less, really wanting that full extension, and unfortunately dropping in his favor. Mako didn't quite have that 2C confirmed though. The life lead once again in Mako's favor. Doved coming out nicely here, and that should be the round yet again, and set point once more for Mako.
Yeah, once again, finding the hits that are most crucial, especially those 2DAs. One hit BFAF, not quite finding the conversion. Could have maybe gotten like an A button, but nevertheless, here Mako just trying to go for the kill. Drave going under the Wyvern, but it's not enough.
Oh, the command grab. Catching Drave, pressing something. Safe jump?
Yeah,
no, we fake it out here with the command grab. Gonna go for the CT2. Possibly was gonna set up that kill right there, especially with the active flow damage, but first from Drave, unfortunately not able to match up, but slight execution error. Silver lining here for Drave. DP's out. Next to no health to work with you, but a bit of resources, so who knows, right? Maybe we get one funny cheese reset. Counter assault, not hitting the mark there, but also not punished at the same time, so going our last legs here.
Mako missing some punishes here. Could have potentially costed the round, but manages to find the win despite it, and will be moving on now to loser quarters. No, to loser semifinals actually.
Yes.
Okay, we're quite deep in the bracket actually, deeper than I thought.
Yeah, unfortunate situation there for Drake at the end, because a lot of really solid reads there with jumps, just narrowly avoiding some of these options that Mako was throwing at him, but not in the position or the timing to really get punishes for them. Is just a very painful thing to see there, but it is what it is. Nevertheless, right, Drave making a very solid deep run here within the bracket. I think making it, yeah, well within, yeah, right up to seed expectation for him as well. So
Yeah, and
unfortunately,
speaking of which, next up I see Ignis is gonna be back on stream, and we're also gonna see Aino, who found a 2-0 over Panda. Okay, that is honestly not super expected. It was like obviously Aino very strong, but Panda, you know, even here like first seed for the bracket and died making barely top 8.
yeah, but it's a question you have to ask as well is like how often is Panda still playing? Don't from what I gathered, not that often.
Please
So
select your
could just be
Yeah, that's
you know,
fair.
could be a little rusty, but
Tsunami.
we'll see how that is, right? Because in the meantime, right, it has been you know, stellar performances by the likes of Mako, who was initially the one to upset Panda and set him down to losers, and now with Aino as well going in the following in the footsteps, being able to eliminate Panda from the bracket. But here is the next the next challenger, another grand final expectant, someone that we frequently see in that position. How does Aino Wei match up to this?
The wheel of
As
fate
both
is
of these
turning.
characters follow a relatively similar game plan, where you know you just want to stuff your opponent into the corner, activate your torture machine, and never let them leave.
I don't know. Some would argue that the torture machine is active before you reach the corner. Hell, even before the match starts, like you just see some of them on round start, and like that's it. It's turned on. That's all you need.
Yeah, the mental warfare already at play here, but just like that, you can see, right? The machine is set. We have the ribcage, we have the spinning wheel, and we immediately layered it with a high-low 50-50. Unfortunately, not able to finish the combo here, so that does offer a bit of freedom here to Ignis. But look at that 6A end here from the top rope, and Aino Wei able to secure that first round.
That 6A just hitting the sky there, putting in so much work and landing Aino the hit that she needs. I see. Interesting start? Question mark?
All right, well, a
Scramble.
lot of resets. Going for the burst in the end. Says, get off me. You need to go back to norm.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the Aino meme mode may be activated. I'm not sure though. Sometimes it's left ambiguous, you know.
You gotta go. Wow, what is that?
Again?
Top rope again. 6A with the full conversion on top of it as well. Spinning, fidget spinner not able to quite catch the roll tech there, but
What the hell?
okay. Careful now. You don't have. Oh, you mash.
Yeah, blocking the overhead and then just sending it after. That's fair enough if you ask me. And the fidget spinner not leaving any way out.
Oh no, we gotta do the funny thing. Yeah, there it is.
You know, she could have just killed with the combo, you know. She could have just done that. There was nothing stopping her. But sometimes you just need to send a message.
Sometimes you gotta play the meta layer of the match, right? Which is to just completely and utterly tilt your opponent.
I mean, whether it works out or not, we're about to find out, you know?
We are.
But potentially, like, we've seen it work before.
Level 1.
Let's see. Is that? Oh my god. I'm feeling a little too comfortable here.
Are you ever too comfortable, though?
I mean, if your 6A is kind of nonchalant, chill ass, just anti-airing Arcune, I would feel pretty comfortable. Wow, that tracks hard. Jeez.
Yeah, that tracks pretty hard if you ask me. And that will be Aino here, getting the corner. Oh, dropping the fireball, but finds the CT. It's actually pressure resets. There is no such thing as a drop.
I dropping the fireball, who cares? It's still plus frame.
It's plus 5 billion. Yeah, Ignis forces the CA out. Clash with the spider, that's actually interesting. actually taking care of that.
That's an interesting notion to consider, that you can't just really raw spider that easily, especially if these Nami is just charging up the fireball.
Oh
First
boy.
activated though, party time.
The curse. Oh, but no, no. Okay. She's not dead, but she's in danger. Yeah, the city. No. Ignis? Ignis? Hello? The taunt? And the fireball going the other way? Hello?
Oh my.
Is the burst coming back? No, it's not.
No, okay,
Just
no, it's time.
barely.
It is probably some of the worst Blaze Blue I've seen in a long time.
Win. Rebel 2.
This is why we didn't deserve a character or potentially a patch.
Okay, Ignis going for the dash under, but cannot quite find the punish. Avoids the spider just barely. This Nami character needs to put on some weight. She's kind of thin.
Oh, very
Okay,
smart.
finds the teleport punish. I know did try to snipe with the orchid, the bits, but not quite working out. And the curse pressure overhead does not connect. We're blocking all of it. Okay, we'll survive.
Yeah,
But
we
we're
are
in danger now.
Ooh, we don't need the
connect.
press trigger though.
And that should be like just get no.
Right there, yeah, but Hella Blue Beats is gonna work out here perfectly for Ignis. A little bit of a scramble, but it's a-okay so long as you win the games there. So we're one apiece here.
You know, at the moment I've not yet had dinner, so I'm kind of hungry, and I'm just seeing so much spaghetti on screen. It's unbelievable.
Bonkers.
It is actually unbelievable. Like, what are we up to today? Hopefully not that, but I guess that happens as well.
Ooh, synchronizing.
Yeah, no, it crashed for me.
An error has occurred. No spectator bug, I hope. Okay, no, it wasn't.
We're going in again.
We're going back in. Okay.
Yeah, that's
As awful as that was to watch, I still wouldn't want to miss it. So I'm glad that no shenanigans happened there.
like the spaghetti was so much that the game actually just crashed out of spite. I don't even know, man.
I do appreciate that's what it does when you like combo for too long on somebody who hasn't bursted. Was like, no, this is dumb. Just crashes the game.
Oh, and the 6A once again. The clashing with the bug, getting it out of the way, but Aino still stuck in the corner. He countered curse from top row. And here Ignis is kind of stuck. No burst to his name, no meter. Has a bit of burst on, but that won't help him for now.
Good pressure, nice floats, unfloats. Tries the 2B.
Okay.
Was hoping that ribcage would expire in that position, but it didn't quite work out for him in that regard here. Aino sets up her next OP sequence here. Doesn't have the ribcage ready yet. That division is like
QC, you're kidding.
Where are we going? Oh. Yeah, that will put her on set.
Yeah, like, you ask where we're going, but the thing is, do you really want to know the answer? Like, where are we headed with the way it's going, you know?
Yeah, we don't need another build here. Strive is right there. Oh my god!
And the Chubi anti-air. This is for the Ray agenda, by the way. I know
the Ray
this is just for
agenda.
him.
Izanami!
Izanami!
Oh my god.
That's actually, like, you know, if we ever get, like...
oh my god.
Oh my god.
I respect the attempt there from Ignis. It was a really smart plan to go for, but it just didn't activate fast enough. And
yeah, I know. Those bees are not evil, I'm afraid. So that will be Aino getting Ignis out of the way and moving to losers semifinals. But You know, as we were saying, like, if we ever get like a compilation of the greatest BlazBlue clips of all time, I am submitting the Ray one. Like, there is no other way.
That definitely a cultural,
A cultural
capstone now.
phenomenon.
Yeah. We saw it happen live here. 2B anti-air. That will make anybody go crazy if that happens to you. But with that being said, we're gonna go and yonder back over to our winner's side. So we saw how unstoppable Neek was in the moment. I am curious to witness what Red Ask has to answer that, because it was also, right, this is interesting, it was Red Ask that sent Aino down into losers to begin with. So I feel like to play Hectic, you can kind of deal with Hectic, right?
Yeah, sort of. Like, Red Ask sent the Mako as well. Like, so aside from Neek, the players remaining in the bracket are players that Red Ask has already beaten. So if you know, so far he's on a crazy run. If Neek wants to stop him, it's all on him. So I want to see how that goes.
Yeah, I hope Red Ask isn't gonna let him get away with. Oh, I was about to say rush up 2A, but he does it anyways. What is the mind control that Neek has for being allowed to do this on round start?
I mean, this Tao champion may just be cheap. Have you considered that? Yeah. Also, worth pointing out, this is a matchup that I know Neek feels like just personally comfortable in. Tao Kroll puts in some work, like, you know, Azul players like their 5A and 5B. Against Tao, those buttons just don't work. Kroll goes under everything.
Oh, just like that. You attempt to cross up right there, holding down back, which does allow them to crawl for a frame. Gotta be careful with your cross ups then. Nice, getting out the anti-air. Oh. Almost got the dash through. Would have been really clutch too if you're able to teleport the other side, because it'll cause all of that to whiff. But you can see that once Red Ask can get a little bit started, right, it gets a bit scarier for Neek. But trapped in the corner, not a whole lot of options available.
Yeah, like Red Ask is very much able to like get his own momentum going. But obviously Neek like just very strong defensively. And Tao having unique, very unique defensive options mean you very much have to adapt your offense. So I'm not sure how that one is gonna go. And obviously just, you know, getting used to Tao neutral, because Tao plays her own style of things.
Oh, absolutely. You need to have a PhD in Taoism to be able to deal with what this character wants to do against you here. As he's got Neek now with Red Ask trapped in the corner. The next touch will close out this first game, seeing that he has a full stick of butter, has that OD available. The first mix-up, good blocks the overhead. But not out of danger zone just yet, blocks the second overhead.
Yeah,
the third one, but he catches it from the air, what the hell?
Yeah, that overhead is plus. I'm afraid blocking it may just not be enough. Like, especially on like the follow-up, like sort of cut swipes she does,
yeah,
right?
236B, J236B.
Yeah, like you want to possibly IB those if possible, in order to actually make it like, you know, minus. It's still not punishable, but you at least have her lose her turn. Rather than just, oh, she is plus, she can just like Lamau dash in 2A.
Very awesome. But first DP coming out, little cross-up action. There's also a nice hit, but no counter just yet. So big damage not on the table wide in the given moment, but we are finding a few stray hits. But beautiful 6A anti-air and the side swap corner routing working out wonderfully as well, getting Red Ask trapped once more.
Also, like, what I think is a failed DK Rekka from Red Ask coming out as Jump JC, and that cost him quite a lot right now, as Neek got the momentum on his side while Red Ask has no burst to his name. Okay, finds the crouching hit, that's a big one, forces the burst.
No!
Dive kicking right into the ball, that is rough right there. Wait, hold.
That was a pretty good starter there.
Yeah,
He said
drops,
the wall spot foot. Air to air?
Okay.
Air throw though, hold on.
No, wait, I think that's not a good route, I think he could have killed. That's
I think it's
kill
still
kills.
here.
That could have been a kill combo. Like I think you should have done. You want to do air throw into Chusi when you got the corner with Azrael, but they're just kind of messing things up. That is unfortunate and will costing like Red Ask a whole round. That may come back to bite him.
Ooh. I didn't have to meet to cash out on that, but look at that again, like you mentioned before, right? The crawl on these cross-ups where Red Ask wants to dash through 5A, you could see just whiff on that first hit. If Nick had a little bit more confidence in their play, they would have tried to challenge that, but nevertheless, things are working out wonderfully for them.
Yeah,
again,
no, like,
keeping Red Ask trapped in the corner, also looking and fishing for that DP to come out, and no.
That was a massive starter, good burster from Red Ask. But yeah, like, you know, Azul players generally will like, they will press 5A and 5B and will trust those buttons more than they trust themselves. But I'm afraid you cannot do that in this matchup. That it just doesn't work.
2C? That is biblical level greed to go for 2C in that situation. And I think with this overdrive, should be the super into the RC, a couple 6Cs, exceed, excel. Is it enough damage?
The flow, so it will be, and that is Nick going 2-0. It is winner finals, so we do have a first three on our hand, and so not yet over. But if Red Ask is gonna make a comeback, he's gonna make the adaptation. Now is the time.
The wheel of fate is turning.
We'll see what he's got, because he's getting very close to actually securing these rounds. Last one was a bit of a combo drop, execution error type thing, but keep it up and you might be able to beat Nick at their own game. Ooh, good patience, good blocks, but yeah, once more, that mid-range distance, right? If you can put yourself out there, even though you're kind of minus, it's not a whole lot that Azrael can do, lacking the buttons or the means to instantly adjust himself into that spacing.
Yeah, like when he's at a certain range, Gustav, you know, obviously very good special, but it's not a replacer for a run, you know. So that means depending on the spot, it just may not be in as tight of a situation when it comes to holding the opponent's offense.
Yeah, and in Red Ask's case, right, we're getting so close to closing out these rounds. All right, dash through Buster also works, but man, we gotta clean up these final hits here because again, a drop. Thankfully, he had a ton of health left, right? So not something that Nick could instantly challenge for that set point on just yet.
Yeah, no. So far, like Red Ask got so many rounds that were so close in terms of HP, but not quite able to close them out for one reason or another. Now we gotta see, does Nick just have the mandate of Evan? He might have, but we're not sure yet. We gotta find out.
Yeah, off that 5E situation, good recognition on the spacing that Red Ask left himself at, right? So prime spot for them to be able to jump out from the corner. High fleet secured as well.
On the cross up, but Nick will be plus taking his frames and getting the corner. And here, a precarious position where.
And the whiff on the DP is going to secure Nick the set point here with the burst available as well. So still room for Red Ask to try and challenge, at least put one on the board. Hashtag not free, but see what he's got.
Yeah, here we got a plate clean now. Manages to find the air dash in, but a bit too spaced out for the juicy 6D to work. Block on the 5D from Nick. The 5A going the other way will be netting him a punish. And the corner. Burst is about to come back, but this is still... oh boy, no. The you know, Azul DP notoriously having low profile issues, and I mean against Okaka, like the story just writes itself, you know.
Indeed. Dive kick not connecting there, unfortunately. Still down to just blocking. A lot of solid IBs, good meter generation going on here, but can't really find a room to challenge, especially look where Nick is leaving themselves at, and also just getting these cat jumps in. Really nice grip of damage here. And the 5C raw touch, immediately popping that OD. Look at the full stick of butter to work with as well. Look at that first one, RC. We want a little bit more. Can we close it out? Is it enough damage? Or do we need one more touch? It is perfectly calculated. 6.1k. Get the agenda reel rolling. This character is no longer low damage.
We are doing some real ass optimization over here. And Nick, like, with the fake cross-up, because, you know, obviously, Red Ask going for the emergency stack. So Nick just running forward, thought he was going for, you know, a cross under for a button, and was ready for that. Except Nick going for like the fake out, and staying same side into 5C for just the biggest starter he can possibly get, and just at that closing out the round and securing himself the place in winner in winner grand finals.
Very, very scary indeed there. And I mean, I wonder who can step up to the plate to challenge Neek here. So Resk already, we saw the struggle.
Please select your
Did
character.
get very, very close to oh, hold on. What is this?
Huh?
No way, right?
Nah.
Okay.
Okay, I see what's happening. Okay, Mako is up to something. I know she is, like, going for like the Izanami like that, only to have the game crash after. I think she's after some kind of sorcery we're not aware of.
Yeah, the kind of sorcery that might involve accidentally picking the wrong character on character select screen. Can happen.
Nah,
We'll see.
there is something nefarious at play, I'm telling you.
Fat finger now in Delta 4. That's how it goes. Yeah, I wonder what Mako has in stock for this one though, because we've seen definitely when I know when she gets comfortable in the matchup, gets very silly with things, and Kagura already has a bit of a struggle with his own movement, right?
Yeah.
We do see some other options, right? You do have things like Wyvern, so projectile zoning isn't too great a deal for you if you're able to squeeze the Wyvern out just at the right
Yeah,
spacing.
Kagura, this is definitely a matchup where he has some issues in, but at the same time, I don't think Mako has like a sub at hand, at least at the moment. So I think we'll probably be sticking with the Kagura either way, and just see how it goes.
I mean, the matchup doesn't sound too impossible, and especially with C5, you can do quite a bit of damage to the ribcage if you're forced in that position. But we'll see how it all comes together, as Mako already off to a clean start here, able to, unfortunately, not quite put Mako into the corner.
Finds the punish on the blocked 3C there. So still a bit of a life deficit, but we got the momentum. The 5A anti again. Like, it's actually putting in, I'm in awe at how much work it's putting in.
I tell you, it comes with the confidence of being able to understand where and when to press this button, right? Still hoping for counter hit confirms, but neither the opponent's really ready to tech out of it. It also seems like the blue beats. But cage expiring, danger time. You gotta be careful. The Lindworm, but not a true reversal, and the projectile not able to come out in time. But despite the slow run, right, you can at least escape the droplets.
Right now, Mako getting tagged left and right. And the cross up, just barely avoiding the super and finding the comeback. That was a real scary one, for sure.
Action.
And most definitely though, so something that hopefully the takeaway here for Aino is that she can't quite slouch just yet in this matchup. Gotta at least get in a position where you can threaten to finish your plate.
So far making it work. We got the corner, but yeah, I don't know if that is, yeah, Izanami does not quite have access to hard knockdowns, but still, I know with the ribcage now in danger, so you gotta be extra aware of the flash kick.
Yeah, I think she has 6cc to try and hard knock down, but it's just not, not what you want to do when you can just rib cage with droplet active, right? Set up the fidget spinner.
Yeah, pretty much. It's most important when in situations where maybe you have barrier, but you don't want to spend it because you're you're low, or you're just straight up in danger. In those situations, flash kick gets extra scary. But so far, I know just being able to run the offense regardless. Mako out of burst.
Danger spot quite often, but that hasn't really been her so far, right? Like you can see, just manages to space away, but oh well, what's the plan?
Yeah, here coming out. I think that was that supposed to be risk? I'm not sure actually.
I feel like you could have gotten way more of that situation, but nevertheless, right? Ribcage active, sending it away. Do we get the mid-screen Oki setup? There it is.
Pushing for the corner. Mid block swing activation, and the fireball connects. Mako first burst here. I know on a pixel of barrier, so.
That's so painful. The plan was so correct there for Mako to go for the 6DC, but I also think the range that Aino's playing at, even if you do armor through the Comet, you wouldn't connect. Like the 6C,
yeah, no, like
6DC doesn't reach that far.
Yeah, full screen is decently safe. Like generally, well, to be fair, like Fireball is not like it's not the fastest projectile, right? You could like just take a step forward before going for the Wyvern, but obviously it's not as easy, especially if you're being pestered by the bits as well. That's understandable. In the meantime, Bbeuobi, but I know almost finding quite a lot of, I cannot talk.
You got it, bro.
Help. My voice is dying right now. I may not be ready for what's to come.
But yeah, there's something important to remember as well is that this is loser semifinal. So our final first to two of this evening. Mako does need to make the next few rounds count, especially firstly securing that hide up position.
Yeah, we do not have a lot of room for error here, so we gotta make it work with what we have,
Oh, they get the micro dash there after, but look at the chase down. Wanting to bring Aino back to earth, especially in this danger state, trying to capitalize off it as much as possible.
So far, trying to stall as hard as possible for the bear to come back, but Mako finds... Oh no, the drops. This could be bad. This could be bad.
Yeah, because actually having recovered from the danger state, right, able to access the ribcage, looking to jump out of these situations, but it's not going to work out in the end. Aino Way secures the hit, and that should be the set point with the super.
Just barely. That is such a tragedy. Mako got Aino just one touch away from death, but not before she managed to like get her space and her bury back, and that was just the turnaround. And even here, like finds the command grab, but the drop leads to a big momentum swing for Aino. The Chubby! The Chubby!
I won't even hate the 2B here, because that's just generally the right answer to Wyvern.
Yeah, it's Wyvern, very strong space control, but depending on the character, you have strong low-profile options to answer it, and that's what Aino is doing, and very much taking advantage as she's one touch away from closing it out. Mako needs to be real careful here, and that's
I'll do it.
barring drop. That is will be Aino moving on to loser finals.
Painful. Painful one there. It's just so close to greatness, but fortunately a few missteps there, and especially right. I think we've seen it a handful of times in this set as well, that Aino Way is able to set up these really scary contraption situations where there are disjointed projectiles flying at you. Your inclination as Kagura is then to try and Wyvern and get close. But that's ultimately the greatest bait, because all she does is just 2C you, or 2B you, excuse me, and just low profile under it with a full combo punish. But
yeah,
that being
Aino
said,
very much. Yeah, sorry.
No, we're just gonna go into first to threes, and it's been Red Ask that sent Aino to losers to begin with.
Yeah, but Aino even though she hasn't been showing those like fuzzies as much, she is very much able to just once she has the momentum, it can really be hard to take it away from her. She has the grimy offense, very much the lab, and on top of some of her more, uncommon, a bit more gimmicky, but can get you if you're not prepared, the sort of setups, So it's very much on the opponent to answer her stuff. And so far she hasn't, as I said, she hasn't been showing things like fuzzies as much, so I wonder if they're coming out online.
Well, she's attempted it before against, I think it was the match that we watched.
I think earlier in the tournament, yes, but I don't think I saw her like against the Mako, for example.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's generally pretty, I think it's a pretty easy fuzzy to deal with. You just have to IB the falling JC and that should clear you. Crouch it.
I don't know, I feel like it's a very strong one for sure. Especially because, you can just kind of, if they're not IBing in the right spots, they can just sort of loop into themselves.
Right.
And I believe, maybe I'm misremembering, but I believe you also have like setups that lose to IB, but beat like IDB, and setups that are the other way around, like where you need to IBB or stuff rather than IB. IB won't work.
Interesting. Well, so far, that's cool and all, but like you mentioned, right, I know way keeping to the consistent stuff, keeps Red Ass into the corner. How we find a side swap, 6A, what's the play? We block it. So we have the OD activation, right? So lets us access the droplet commands without going into the attack mode.
Yeah, Red Ass there with Gustav on as Aino wakes up, and that will be costing him back into the corner. We got the burst, but
there it is.
Yep. There it is. And Aino now in danger, but can we take advantage of that?
He blocked that.
CA is out.
Oh, not quite.
Yeah, no, like, it is so hard, especially as Azul, right? Just in general, but especially as a character like Azul. Izanami is in danger. If you catch her, you can maybe take advantage of it, like just land like crash trigger setups and whatnot. But can you catch her? Is the important question. This character I hear is pretty good at just running away and stalling for time. Okay, big whiffs happening. Tries to go for Gustav into 5A, but the Bbeuobi will be beating that, and Aino getting the corner here. What can we do? With air throw. Oh. I see. We're going for the interesting things here.
You do the low part of 60, actually managed to open up Red Ass. Or just drops it right in front. Very smart.
Yeah, to bait out the Growler. Red Ass does still manage to find... Oh, and once again! Time this tournament. And that... Yeah. This is with right? Okay. Yeah. I was afraid of an Izanami hurtbox moment, but works out. And Red Ask, that's the second time this tournament is called out as CA with the Azul 6A. You don't see it that often.
I think at the same time, right, the spacing he was at, he was trying to look for the plus frames 6A.
Yeah, you can space it to like make it plus, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But you have the added benefit of should they panic, you can just get yourself a nice little clip for the road as well.
I'm liking those. The Fuzzies coming in again. She gets some pretty nice damage for those two. Like, that is almost, not even almost, that's 3k. 3k for a Fuzzy is like Susan levels damage actually.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. I think just how good her C normal scaling her combos that she's able to access this kind of damage. Not even, yeah, but most characters that do these JA starters are just like, yeah, I'm consigned to that 1.7k damage life. Oh, yeah, a little low low profile action. DP not gonna work out here. So I mean, Red Ask is getting close. I wonder how he got that 2-0 to begin with. So we'll see if the magic that allowed Red Ask to win the previous sets when these two faced off to
Yeah,
put
I know.
into losers.
Yeah, I know right now was just like whiffing Chubis in front of Red Ask. Just kind of daring him to do something about it, you know? And here we're stuck again, ready for the fuzz this time, but as I said, like, those things can loop into themselves. If you don't have answers nice and ready, you might be in for some suffering.
Yeah, definitely gotta attempt to IB those falling JCs, right? Just to give you a chance to get out of it.
Pretty much. Finds the jump in and the crouch confirm, forcing the burst. So we won't see that from Aino for the rest of this match. But can we make it matter? We still have quite the life deficit to go through.
Yeah, and of course Ribcage making it incredibly difficult here for Red Ask.
Yeah, right now, Red Ask just...
Ooh.
Oh no, the 5B is an army!
Second chance though.
Okay.
No text. Double weak points. The fade away. Set up. And
okay. No, see there, like it wasn't even spaced out. He just did it point blank. He's like, yeah, you're gonna see it. No, you're gonna do it. Come on now.
That is a baller maneuvers here from Red Ask. The hard call out because that's exactly what Aino needed in that moment, right? She needed that counter assault to connect so that Red Ask goes full screen and we can get right back into that control that Izanami can exert against some of these characters that struggle to move across the screen, right? Due to not having standard central friction movement.
Yeah, no, like Red Ask right now actually just attempting to open his third eye just to win the Izanami matchup. Nice. Nice 5A interrupt there on the Gustav. Yeah, we get those on point.
Gimme.
I think that could have been like a punish with the fireball cancel on the ribcage activation, but doesn't quite get it. Makes the 3C whiff with the backdash. That could have been a gigantic punish.
Yeah, really trying to just fish for this JB hit here, especially if you can get it to counter
Oh no!
but...
He thought the bits were coming, but those that version does not quite go full screen, and that will be Aino taking full advantage of his mistake. And now getting around on board with the 3C catching the backdash too. It's looking rough right now. Red is just trying to weather the storm, but the wing is not slowing down. The wind here is very much not slowing down. How do we deal with this?
And we got burst coming up, so there's at least a do-over, but yeah, IBs it. I think the setup was a bit too spicy. Then what a cross-up. Taste of your own medicine. That is foul.
Just disgusting. Can we censor that? Can we please censor that? That was just disgusting.
We need a pixel blur on this. That was horrible to see. We cannot condone these actions. You know what? I'm starting to warm up to this whole balance patch idea.
And as you say that, you know, I see Ray just letting his opinion be known in the Twitch chat. And while he may be disgusted by what is on screen, I think low-key is kind of happy that his agenda is now being proven correct.
It's vindication. All for free. Well, Ras does have the potential to tie up the set. We've at least seen him put a game on the board. We've seen him as well take a 2-0 over Aino Way. So I wonder what the change of pace is. Maybe Aino is taking it a whole lot seriously.
Yeah, it's possible, but so far it looks like he's having to weather so much to get an attempt at getting his way, and it's currently just not happening. Aino with a near perfect, securing the round, which gives her the set point now.
Crazy. Oh, and there it is. It's a good old Cadillac. Nice neutral skip, big opener too, to be able to get a confirm off that. Something that Red Ask recognizes.
You know, just casual half screen button that leads to full combos and he's plus on block. You know, we love to see those.
Oh, what's that? I can combo for my fuzzy attempt too? Yeah, there he is. Perfect. IB, crouch underneath. Next layer.
Okay, manages to find the hit. Burst is still on lock. Tries to look for another 6A bait on the CA there. I know, almost out of danger though.
Ooh. Oh, look for the anti-air of the Panzer, especially, you know, it's a good first bait attempt.
Why is... Oh...
Finish your plate.
Yeah, I know. He tried to hard bait the burst with the jump cancel there, but I know not biting. And now getting the blue beat, which we very much like.
Oh, we're bursting there?
Oh no.
I think he
no.
might try to grab the field, but it drops.
No,
no pick up
converting.
Almost that
This.
scary.
Oh no. Okay, burst maybe coming back online. No, the drop.
The double wall.
The chubby. Oh, the Panzer from Bro. Oh my god, we are believing. We are so believing in this one.
It's so bad. The green line is going up. Everyone's bets. The cash out is looking great.
I see hope.
Okay though. We let Aino do a little bit of work here. Azrael is a very healthy character after all. It's part of the game plan just to take a few hits here. Because you can.
The pressure is
No,
relentless. Yeah, the pressure is relentless right now. I know in danger state at the moment, but Red Ask on a big life deficit and Little Bear for himself as well. Burst may be coming soon, but will it come soon enough? No!
Wait, did it catch Sentinel Dump? No way, right?
No!
Because it
I
shouldn't
don't know.
connect when you're floating, so unless he put himself airborne to get caught.
I think it was a regular jump attempt, but just like that, I know. Delay air command grab super. I
my
swear
God.
I can't. This is actually a tragedy happening before our very eyes.
It jumped into it. That's so tragic to see, just a moth to the flame. Red Ask tragically going out just like that, but he definitely made a really solid splash and attempt at it. But he's gonna hand over the attempt to take down Neek over to Aino, which you know, I think it is, considering the difference in strengths of the characters, right? I believe Aino does have a much greater chance here to take down Neek. And it's going to be quite the journey too, right? Coming in from loser's side, so you're going to have to win a cumulative of 6 games to be able to win this bi-weekly. But as a reminder, right, to everybody, we still have some codes left to be claimed as we're going to go into these grand finals. Do not hesitate to support these players, especially some of the returning offline early on.
Nick most definitely has let his opinions be known about this matchup, especially back when, you know, Star was still playing. Let's say that much, you know.
That is fair. We'll see how he manages, or how they manage to do this. So far, not so good.
So far, it's kind of a struggle. The empty jump should be connecting, and that the barrier drop should be a clean kill. Yeah, first round in for Aino. Nick is on winner's side, worth noting, so he can afford like extra mistakes. But whatever happens, it needs to be happening soon enough.
Yeah, and we talk about the momentum strength of Izanami, but she does lack her own sort of defensive tooling. Of course, when she gets access to that 50 bar, right, she gets one of the best reversals in the game. But until then, right, you're gonna have to be a victim to the pressure of Tao Kakai, where you could just see both of these characters, once they get that first touch, they're able to just out-momentum the other. Well, I think the damage in being dealt by either side is worlds apart.
Okay, Nick evading. And all the air throw from downtown. Okay. If there is anything that Taukaka has going for her in this matchup, one of the best things is most definitely just being able to. Izanami decides to pop Ripcage in neutral. Okay, you just run away. Like as Taukaka, you have very much the capabilities of just outrunning Izanami and not interacting with her for a time.
That's absolutely the case, but trapped in the corner now. We haven't seen this go too well in Nick's favor, and yeah, you can see now just committing the burst to it. But what a chase down. Super jump, double air dash with that counter hit, being able to bring her all the way down to the ground. I'm going to get that corner conversion, late air dash for the overhead.
Yeah, not only late air dash, that was double air dash setup, which whenever I'm fighting in, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm actually never ready for that. Scary counter is happening on the screen though. Nick finds this hit to the scramble. Burst coming back soon for Aino.
First trigger. Try to cash out this damage. We go into the super
Okay,
before it comes up. We do find it.
We find the super before Aino gets her burst back. And that would be Nick securing the first match.
Oh, very clutch. You can't count out Nick for being very, very optimal with their character. I mean, they have definitely done the incredible work of being consistent on Taukaka. I don't even have to say as consistent, right? Just being consistent on this character is such an uphill battle to be able to pull off. And not only being able to just get all these different conversions, but just the right conversion as well to be able to secure the kill just right before the burst comes out. It's incredible.
Yeah, no, like their optimization is crazy at times. And I mean, as we've seen before with Red Ask, it doesn't just top at combos either. Like Nick just has some of the grimiest Tau setups you've seen yet. And I am looking forward to them potentially coming online this set as well.
So far, decent start, right? Going for the momentum burst. Wants to keep Aino trapped in the corner. Spending a lot of gauge here. Just trying to push block out. The 2B does low profile under, and with the challenge as well. Catching there. Counter assault. Get me out. Trying to jump away. Both players looking to trade positions and somehow barely slipping by. That is some incredible BG's action. RC off of the skull, effectively teleporting her to the ground.
Yeah, no, like that was like actual ambiguous. Like I wasn't sure myself where that was gonna land. I kinda got it. I kinda got it. I cannot even lie.
I think Mick's so good, not even Aino knew what side she was gonna land on.
So sometimes that just happens with Zanami, you know, like especially in situations where like she just like does an air dash JB at you, and sometimes no one knows where she's gonna land, except like JB into float autocorrect, so she doesn't need to know where she's gonna on which side she's gonna end up, but you do because you need to actually block her.
Yeah. So
that's an interaction of all time.
Try and run it. Oh no! Couldn't activate the ribcage. Didn't quite get the counter hit, counter assault there. So he can just tech forward. Big old button trapped in the corner. We'll see what the mix-up is looking like. We're gonna go for the throw here. The burst is available, and Aino does end up letting it rip there. Wants to try and finish off things right here, right now, and we leap over. Oh, trapped in the recovery. What an awareness!
No. Chat, do they know? I don't think they know.
I think she knows. And use your burst late. That means it's not going to come up, or at least you're equal with Nick in this situation. And already they're starting off with a great start in this round.
Yeah, and gotta also be aware of the Tau anti-zoning super. You cannot just throw the fireball like that, I'm afraid.
Delays, and yeah. Sweep, counter hit, pick up. Unfortunately, not able to get the full extension. But the last hit of the Wrecker there is going to do a ton of damage here. The burst is going to come up. I don't know what the plan is, because you got hit by the no-tech, and now you're just one touch away from it being the end. And look at that, just the air-to-air. Fortunately, no more jumps there to be able to get the full conversion. But also
yeah, the air-to-air's going crazy right now, but Rip is about to run out. I know on a pixel, anything is going to kill now. Finds this cool RC. Can we keep it going until we're in a safe spot?
No, we just burst
out. Just
Item.
looking for the projectiles and the dash super jump JA to snipe Aino out of the sky. And Nick finding the 2-0 just like that.
One more game, and Neek is once again crowned champion of the bracket. It would be back-to-back for their appearances.
Yes, so far, like, it's looking... Nikki is looking real clean. Just their attempts, every single one of their attempts really, to get Aino out of the airspace has been very successful. Here finding the punish on the 3C, but not quite finishing the combo. Stuck in the corner, trying to jump out. Both bursts are out.
Yeah, they've kind of figured out the way the pace of this set goes, right? Like both have tried their attempts to try and block out each other's pressure. It hasn't worked out, so they'll go to the nuclear option of, okay, you got the hit, now get it again.
Whoa. Oh my god, what's happening?
Jump scare.
Yeah, Nick is out, caught the slide, catching in, and that would be a super. And once again, Aino always taking so far like the first round of the match, but not quite able to close it out. Nick always has some way of just finding their way back in. Here though, finding the 6 AM here, once again just putting in so much work with it's just all hitting 8-box.
Ooh, patience. It's been a really scary command grab situation as well. Chicken block, but it's caught by the low here. Not a whole lot of health left here for Nick, especially considering that Tao is also one of those 10k characters, able to get that last touch there with Danger State. Is going to be a nice grip of damage, right? A good comeback attempt here despite the life deficit.
Yeah, Tao's best starter on top of the Danger State. That's a nice 4.4k and a baited CA. Burst is coming online soon for Aino, so it's not yet over, but this is looking grim right now. Holding
could have been an OD attempt there, but unfortunately just mistiming it ever so slightly. Making it a burst, the chase down, no counter hit just yet.
Nick doing such a good effort of avoiding the bits entirely so that he's not forced to be locked down by Izanami. But nevertheless, Aino does find the hit. He won't kill, but now next touch will, and Nick is not getting the burst back soon as Aino finds the touch she needs and her first match on board.
Yeah, very tricky one. I think that's something that Aino has started to catch on to is, of course, she can spend a lot of time trying to go and chase down Nick, who is constantly just mosquitoing, flying around through the air. But, you know, all of it has some part of it that goes, you know, horizontally right across the screen. So attempting to utilize the skull, right? Just a big old activate, a ton of active frames on that, right? Just to be able to
it's literally active until landing.
Yeah, there you go. So Tao will be bound to fall into it if Nick is not careful, and we've seen it work out beautifully a couple times paired with the RC for the confirm.
Yeah, so far Nick has made like just very good attempts of avoiding the bits entirely, because if there is one thing Tao does not want in this matchup is for a bit lock her down, and Nick has made a very good attempt at avoiding that, but you know, obviously Izanami not slacking in mobility and ability to just you know, threaten you from afar herself, has managed to put quite a dent in Nick's game plan. Though in the meantime, he does have a pretty dominant round here, and that will be the tournament point for him actually. So now it's on Aino to find her way back in.
Ooh, there we go. That's a much better starter. All the way down to the ground we go. The burst still being hung onto here by Aino.
Yeah, a crazy air intercept from Nick there. Getting the offense block on the 6B, but it's plus.
Oh, 5C there. Slight delay, frame trap.
That might be the last burst we see this tournament. If next touch if next Dutch connects, Aino is dead.
Depends on
What
the
is the
starter.
mix?
though.
50 meter in overdrive. I think she can
Oh,
probably
party time.
kill Form a lot of stuff now.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
forced to danger state. No ribcage under my sight. And finds the two-way. There won't be a kill.
Oh, jumps away. Trading.
Hey, cold trading.
There it is.
Okay.
Skull working out as always.
Yeah, like the actives and the gigantic hitbox putting in so much work right now. So Aino does manage to find her way out of danger and into the corner. And Nick evade here. He may just be able to, outruns the ribcage entirely. And Aino now, danger, 1 pixel. Can we survive this?
Oh, the count hit. But
Oh god.
have me to confirm.
Oh god.
I mean, I think at this point, yeah, swap the overdrive, but it's so difficult to actually make use of the pressure. At least you get the barrier back on time. But look at the stall, right? You just can't use it to cheat your way through. And just like that.
I know. Just getting desperate there. Trying to find any crumb of hit there into a possible combo. But ultimately, Nick, with a very clean neutral, will be taking the tournament 3-0. Sorry, 3-1.
That sucks. Oh my god. The downplay is already starting. Can send the footage to Arxis right now. We know I have context. I'm forwarding this as we speak. But no, yeah,
If a patch is coming, we need to avoid Tao getting buffed.
I'm telling you, people talk about some balance patch shaking up the meta and stuff. There are some very annoying low tiers that you are happy that they are in the current state that they are, because you give them any more abilities, and we're talking giving the likes of Trumi some more comfortable access to neutral skips.
No. See, you're falling for the propaganda yourself. Like, we're talking about Tao, and then you suddenly mention low tiers. Like, no, that's not it, man. It's not it. This character is cheap. I'm telling you.
Talk about nerfs. All right. Well, with that being said, right, that is going to be Neek being this week's champion, right? The big 50th edition, taking a lion's share of $132.50. So definitely a nice paycheck. And of course, congratulations to all the other players who placed well in this tournament. And so thank you to everyone who participated. And to highlight as well, Red Ask, right, walking away with a couple bounties under his belt for his performance. So definitely no slouch there. I think unless there's anything else for us to shill, VSF is going to be at the end of this month. There is a CF bracket, so do keep your eyes out for that. Cloud, you'll be at OTB.
Yes, so see me in 3 days in Naples for OTB. Whoever can come there is very much welcome to. If you can't, there will be a whole bunch of streams for you to look forward to. Unfortunately, no official main stage Plays Blue bracket, but Sly and Oliver will be there. They've managed some crazy stuff before, even at Evo France, I think. So I'm sure they'll figure it out. But as far as I go, you will find me for Street Fighter, Grand Blue, Fatal Fury, and Skullgirls commentary, the whole bunch. So if you're interested in any of these, do join me, and I will be seeing you there.
I think it's time that I say something.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you everyone for watching, but most of all, thank you for your direct contributions. Tuki, Holmborn, Yucker, and me. And of course claiming all those coupons. We still have 18 codes left, so it's 25 cents per code. If you would be so kind and just claim one of them if you can. All you have to do is just log in, press that button, and that's it. Yeah, and with that, was a really good tournament. A lot of Izanami, but not as much as the last few times. But Aino really cleared.
To be fair, right, it really was only Aino this time around. I think, unless there was someone else off stream, but on stream it was really only her. So I mean, props, really.
It's only
Making,
only I know. I
a-
mean, she always joins in with multiple accounts.
Go.
It is just what it is. There's just one
It is what it
Izanami player.
is.
Can't tell me
Imagine
otherwise.
if it was more.
But not that many Hakumen players this time around.
There is no future. That's why I'm waiting for the patch.
Yeah, no future character. All right then.
But
With that,
yeah, with that said, yeah.
yeah, just wanted to say goodbye to everyone. Okay. Well then, thank you everyone. Have a good time. See you in 2 weeks.
Peace.